this platform is independent, and we wanted to work with everyone across the spectrum. So folks are invited to share what they know, and the viewers make their choice, and we ask the questions and we give the opportunity to answer.
This craziness, man, I do not care. Why am I so anti-establishment? Because of what I've seen the establishment do to people. That's why I cannot be pro-establishment.
Power is in the hands of the people. And it really did. What we all witnessed is the government, they knew that they were heading in the wrong direction. They knew Gambians are speaking in the same voice.
What law in the books that says the government has power to come out and go after folks' private citizens' properties and demolish them because somehow the government interest?
The only way that we can salvage our country is when everybody that gets their hand dirty. Don't sit there with your expertise and just to procrastinate everything that people say or pontificate, what everybody says or does. Let's get our hands dirty.
Good afternoon. Another Sunday with 40 people by the people. Pap Samba, mom magdalañ am.
Gis lo guy UDP pare na ñoo yo de ñu naan la we know Musa Jeng we watching.
No. Gangu magdalañ am. And so this is definitely something that we are all excited about. Anytime we have ANM Darboe on this platform, it's always, exciting, and it's good. And like they say, I'm not going to join Nema Musa Jeng Tenku. Our Baba is going to be on this platform. Manalen, Danka, Tama Tenku, but he's also our Baba. You guys don't have a monopoly on this man. But we're definitely excited. Seku, it's good to see you again.
Thank you very much, Musa. A quick announcement. Gaya mami si legi ni nyina may gambi la nyeka di fix.
Okay.
Wow. Mungangi on wa gaya nyina nyige fix may gambi legi.
Mom can you dega yala?
We'll have to fire your technical team. Before you start, just wanted to Antima Taylor birthday.
Yes.
Fatu's mom, so to just wish her a very, very happy birthday. She is one of our most loyal, if you want to say, viewers.
Absolutely.
She's always here. And I saw her age. I'm like, my God, she doesn't look anything like what I saw Mariama put. But hey, she's living good. Happy birthday, yeah, boy. And wishing you many, many, many more.
Absolutely. Happy birthday. Yalla fi yalla yagal. Si daraja yonti yalla Muhammad may la wér ak wérle wér moom mooy yëpp. And you're definitely someone that anybody should be proud of. Wax dëgg yàlla. You're always there. I live here in Atlanta with you in the community. You're always there. Yaa ngi ci daayira yi. You're very active. Bu doon ngaa wax rek ne retire na dama nekk di bambaane suma xale yi ñoom suma tooma and they're always a problem. But you are out there and doing your bit. So that says a lot about you. Pop Samba, again, every Sunday we come here, we have partners, and that is obviously global properties. So whatever we do, they're right here with us.
I don't have to tell you about the Lakeview Apartments in Kotu, but if I were you, I would. Beautifully and perfectly crafted to suit your lifestyle. Only a few units left at Lakeview. You snooze, you lose. Oops.
like we always say, Global Properties is our partners. All of you guys out there, you know how it is. Everybody is trying to build a house, a condo in the Gambia. Believe me, place a call to Global Properties, and they will definitely be able to take care of you. Pap Samba, so
Yes.
like we said, Gangumaga, everybody is really looking forward to hearing from ANM Darboe, His Excellency, and we are looking forward to it as well. Why Mangonwa Seku, I was kind of protesting a little bit. Manekodal, you guys are treating us as a stepchild. Because of course, this platform, we are you're talking about the diaspora as a constituency. Gisna Baba on Kerfatu, Gisna Baba Garme, 2-3 hours interview. They just give us 1 hour. For us to have a conversation with Baba, it has to be more than an hour, Seku. But Monday,
living jihad boo xam ne jihaadi politique lañ nekk.
waaw.
jamono ji dafa mérite trop pour nga ne nit ki ne mu bàyyi ni koo xaar si gox yee goxaani mu ñëw toog ne dafa def interview 2-3 hours te nit yaa ngi toog di ko xaar fu ñu toog nii laa wax nit yaa ngi toog marché Serekunda di ko xaar waaye because of fulal bu mu leen fulal yaakaar bu mu am si yéen respect bu mu leen amal moo tax mu ne by all means suy benn 1 hour sax dina ñëw jox leen ko tey waaye soo leen bëggee weekdays moom incha allah su dee mun nañoo def weekdays mun nañu la jox more than 1 hour waaye right now moom.
Not 1 hour rek. Baba, it's good to see you, His Excellency. Good afternoon.
I think he's muted. Serian Nemge waiting. He's been waiting on the lobby for a minute.
Oh, this is Seria. Oh. Your Excellency, can you hear me? It's still
yeah, we need to fire the UDP technical team. Your mic is still not coming on, Mr. Darboe.
The mic is not on yet. Somehow it's not.
My telephone man, asubila guys all needs because Mr. Darboe, your mic is still not on.
It's still not on.
Coach,
I think Musa was deliberately trying to, keep you out of this program.
Mr. Darboe, can you hear us?
I think he can hear us. We cannot hear him.
Yeah, it looks like we still can't hear you. That's always the case. Sometimes. Brother Marong, it's good to see you.
I think you started this on a very wrong footing because I've been waiting for 7 minutes. So I don't know, man. I don't know what about the excitement and all that, but I was like, what the heck, man?
I think you have been filibustered very early in this program, man.
I don't understand, man. It was going on and off. I was like,
I didn't see you because right on the late. Because I
was not late. I was at 9:59. I was in there waiting for you.
No, let me tell you.
When Sewu came, Sewu even got the link from me. So what are you talking about?
No, for whatever reason, when I came on, I saw Mr. Darboe. And then Pasamba. Good afternoon, His Excellency. Can you hear me?
Yeah, he can hear us, but we cannot hear him.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that he would.
Mr. Darboe, you guys have to fire all your technical team.
Also, the other thing too is
I think the NPP people got to your computer. So
also the other thing, Google Chrome sometimes works better than some of these.
Okay.
So Google Chrome, Seku, they're using another browser. Legi now they create this voice problem, Bini. Yeah. So Seku is on the other side, maybe talking to them. So, Pap Samba, whilst we're waiting, it looks like, and I'm sure we will talk about it. Obviously, the coalition talks I mean, the
Wait,
emotion.
Can you do a mic test with your guest? He's on. So
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've been doing that. Mr. Darboe, can you hear us?
yeah, he can hear us. We still cannot hear.
see.
Yeah, I've been, bro. Sorry, you're on my case already.
No, I'm not on your case. I mean, we just got to get the guests on board. I mean, they need help. We got to do all the help to make sure he's up on
No, I think
running.
Seiko is also working with them behind this thing.
Okay.
I just don't want us to be quiet without having something going on, you know. I mean,
Yeah, and then Bas is saying that the audio mic selection on his browser. So
yeah, so bro, I guess I gotta be careful today.
No, you don't have to be careful.
So
be yourself.
You're talking about the coalition.
Yeah.
Listen, you've been here, so nothing new under the skies. Hmm?
Let's try this. Hold on.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes. Now we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Oh,
Yes.
we can hear you loud and clear, sir.
Okay.
But you gotta fire the technical team. I don't know who that lady is. You're fired.
You hear? The boss you.
No, we are definitely on.
Anyway, we'll I think we can do this on the phone.
No, we can hear you very well.
No, we can hear
Can you hear me now?
Yes, very well.
Are you hearing me?
Yes,
we are.
We are
So
hearing you.
now he's not hearing us.
We're hearing you.
Well, I don't hear you this time.
Oh, okay. Now it's
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
I want to blame Pata for this. I don't know how.
Can you hear us?
Do you hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you. We can hear you.
I cannot hear them.
Musa, everybody is watching you. You know, Esa Jawolak and everybody. You are the famous guy today. Alaji Musa.
Oh my God, we're wasting a lot of time, huh?
Yeah. Can you hear us, sir?
Hello.
We can hear you.
Oh my God.
Musa, I'm going to share the number with you. Call him on WhatsApp and then.
Okay, maybe we can do that.
For a nasal at an animal. Well, bago kono jube.
We should have done the text. I mean, the text.
It'd be a shame, huh?
No, you know the other thing is if they're using a Mac, it goes to the default. So you have to actually, go to the audio setting in our platform to
No, but
Yeah.
them get el moy.
computer.
Them get el
We
moy.
can hear him though. Unfortunately, he cannot hear us.
Yeah, maybe they just need to go out and come back in. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just log off and come back in.
Yeah, Mos, I just sent you. I don't know whether you have that number. So in case we need to call him on WhatsApp. But like you were saying, Musa, but to me, I think the coalition, we can panel that for the last minute. The hottest one is Ibrahim Adiba at the ferry.
Yes.
I don't know whether you saw that.
I saw that. I saw that this morning.
Yeah.
So, Sekou, I mean, it would be nice to really have him on, but if not, then we definitely do the phone thing.
Phone thing, yep.
It would not be as engaging.
Because
really.
there's a circle going, so maybe they just need to go out and back up in, because sometimes the setting too works. He can hear us, but we can't hear him,
Yeah.
I think the internet without opposition a question you tanga, because whenever we have these opposition figures, there is always some issues. You ask a minister a very tough question, somehow the internet starts acting up. So, but yeah, I saw the Ibrahim Adiba thing, Musa,
Yes.
and in all honesty, I believe Ibrahim Adiba, 100%. The lady really overstepped her bounds. And you cannot treat anybody. Who are you to, in fact, suggest who will be on a ferry with you and not on a ferry with you? And how can you, in fact, degrade the position of that important office to where ngata sen deputy to Musa Jeng ñewal.
Can you guys
Yo
hear
li ma
Coach?
dégg nga wax
Because
tuli
I
what
cannot hear
kind of
him.
nonsense is that? But anyway.
No, it's not. It's not on Seku. They're not on, so they wouldn't be able to hear Coach.
Okay. I seem to have the same issue. I cannot hear you guys.
Hey,
I'm not sure if you can hear
Wonderful.
me.
I say sorry, and there is no reason for this. Wonderful. Before you jump on our case, we better go talk to Sehu. This link was sent to Sehu before.
Please don't tell me they're trying to blame us for this.
Well, it's wonderful.
No, come on, man. Why would we do
There's
that?
no excuse for this. He should have been on board before you come live, since you expect him to appear from.
The power was on before we came live.
No.
So,
His Excellency, can you hear us?
Of course, I can hear you. Can you hear me too?
We can hear you loud and clear, sir.
That's great. That's
Alhamdulillah. Definitely.
yeah. Well, Mr. Darboe, thank you very much for joining us. And you've been trying, I know, an hour now, less than an hour. It's a short time. You've been on this platform before, and you know how it goes.
Well, we can compensate for the time. Eh?
Yes, that definitely. In fact, before you came on, I was already protesting with Seku. I'm like, look, it is our Baba too. We see him on other platforms for 2-3 hours. You guys are just treating us like a stepchild just for 1 hour. I was already protesting. So,
Stepchildren are the most loved ones.
and my cousins are already saying, Musa Jeng, Tenkude, our Baba is on tonight, man, and he's my Baba too.
Yep. But go ahead, Mos.
But His Excellency, thank you very much for joining us, and I want to wish you a happy birthday.
Yes, happy
Thank
birthday,
you very
sir.
Thank you very much.
Yal na la Yàlla may fan wu gudda ak wér gu yaram.
Ya Rabbi, amin ya
daraja
Rabbi.
yonent Yàlla Muhammad ci daraja Makka ak Madina.
Amin.
Li gaay di wax ñu ne lu yàgg rek dëgg la.
Mooy dëgg.
The reason why I say that is we've been on this journey with you, going all the way 20-25 years. Still remember, in Atlanta, in other places, the conversations, and we are still here.
That's
So
right.
what we are looking for, we haven't achieved it yet, but we are on the journey together, and that says a lot. And again, I just want to say thank you for still being here with us. Thank you very much, sir. So,
You're
Brother
welcome.
Mo, I will let you go ahead and ask the first question, or maybe you can just say something, Your Excellency.
So the connection is still not too good because you are breaking. Yeah, I'm going to mobile. Because you are breaking.
Oh, okay, I'm breaking.
You know, Mr. Darboe, Musa lives in Atlanta. It's a third world place, so the internet is not very stable. So,
I'm sure it's better than Gambia.
well, not that much better.
So,
But
Sariang, you wanna start?
I can
No
start.
problem. Huh? Go ahead, Coach, if you want.
Mr. Darboe, we are now in 2026. You've now come full circle. In the summer of 1996, during the, well, not 1996, but anyway, in 1996 was the first time we saw you going from being one of the biggest litigants in that country, biggest lawyers, to now a politician, running for public office, endured so much. Now we are here 30 years later. Mr. Darboe is still with us, like Musa said. What lessons have you learned during that period? What, if there are any regrets, what are they during this period that you've been in the public eye trying to change our politics in the Gambia?
Well, thank you very much. Certainly, for a period of 30 years, one learns a lot from whatever activities you might be engaged in, whether it's in the politics, whether it's in the commodities trading, whether it's the legal profession or the medical profession, you must learn something And probably there might be things that you regret, and that if you are to really rewind the clock, you will not do those things, or if you do them, you will do them differently. Certainly, that must happen. But then those things that you regret, what is their significance? How much have they impacted on the course that you have been doing, impacted on it negatively or positively? I think these are some of the things. Let me say that what I have learned throughout this 30-year period is that never reject anything that a fellow politician or a political activist tells you, but never accept anything. Never reject anything, but never accept anything. And you just move with them and see how things will unfold. Whether what you have been told is really the truth. Whether the type of colors that are being exhibited, those are the real colors. So I have done that, you should not reject anything, but you should also not accept anything. Yes. And of course, regrets, maybe I wouldn't say regrets, but I could say disappointments. Because regrets, I think, is too strong. Maybe I may say I might be disappointed I might have been disappointed in the evolution of certain things, but not necessarily regretting, because the regret would have been regret if the decision that made me to act in a way which was wrong. But if it was not wrong, I don't think I would regret it. I would only feel disappointed, and I'm probably have had that. We probably have had such disappointments. Yes.
Saren, you want to go because we want to do 1-1 since we don't have that much time, so that at least everybody.
Oh, okay. No problem. No problem. Party leader, thank you very much for joining us today, and it's been a while, and we welcome you to the platform. My question to you is: obviously there is coalition talks, and it didn't go well as we all desired, and you said something just recently. You said you can listen to political actors or activists. Do not reject them or accept what they say. I just would like you to take some time and further elaborate on that a little bit more.
Well, you see, 30 years, what I've discovered, that someone will come and paint for you a picture, a rosy picture of what is happening, rosy picture as to the performance or the standing of your party in any party or a particular region. And of course, those people telling those things, 2-3 days later, you find them in another camp, different from the camp that you are. So those things happen, and in fact, probably this is becoming some kind of culture in the Gambia. When politicians say something in your face today, and tomorrow they do something completely different from it. So for me, when you tell me that everything is good in Bansang, I hear it. If you tell me things are too bad in Koru Waftang, I listen, I hear you. But I don't accept that everything is bad in Koru Waftang. And I don't accept that everything is good in Bansang. Yes.
Thank you.
Your Excellency, my first question, I've heard the Information Minister, Dr. Ismaila Ceesay, several times he said, the opposition, all they want to do is replace. When it comes to policies, they don't understand our policies, let alone offering solutions. I want to give you an opportunity to say, out of these 4 areas, affordability, energy, lampayangi, kamaji, youth employment, and corruption, those 4 areas, what do you think the policies of this current government is, and why is it not working? And what are the solutions to attack these 4 areas? Affordability, energy power, youth unemployment, and corruption, sir.
Well, corruption certainly can be handled effectively and properly if there's a political will. When those who are in charge of the affairs of this country are not willing to really take the fight on corruption headlong, we will never be able to really make sure that corruption is dwindles in this country, not completely eradicated, but dwindled in this country. And we have been fighting corruption. In fact, we have been preaching against corruption since 1996. It's just not this. It's not just in this electoral cycles. If you recall, when our $3 million that was taken from Taiwan, the part of the $35 million loan from Taiwan, when Yaya Jammeh and Ibu Jallo, when they siphoned $3 million of that to Swiss bank account, it was we who really spoke against it. We revealed to the Gambian people, and we produced documents which obtained from the High Court of England, affidavits and so forth, and we challenged Jammeh that if you are lying, take us to court. Since then, we have been speaking against corruption, fighting against corruption. So for us, it's not something new, something that we've been fighting against. And we're telling Gambian people that if this government is really serious in fighting against corruption, you had an anti-corruption commission in the Gambia, which was established by Yaya Jammeh. I think that was in 2012. With all its perfections, you could have implemented some of the provisions, and that will show how serious you are in fighting against corruption. But no provision of that law was invoked to combat these menaces in this country. But when we said that you should replace with a better law, that is the current Anti-Corruption Act, when it took almost 4 or 5 years before the National Assembly can finally pass that bill into an act of the National Assembly. And when it was assented to, it took more than, when it was passed, it took more than a year before the president assented to it. And when it was assented to, it took several weeks, several months before the commission or members of the commission were selected. And when members of the selection have been selected, it's taking time before they could start working, the function. Is that the way any serious government would behave? But he said there is a lack of political will to implement the provisions of the Anti-Corruption Act, because it is a net that will catch them. Look at that Anti-Corruption Act. I think it's section 8 or 9. It says that events that took place or allegations that took place before the coming into force of this act may not be inquired into by the Anti-Corruption Commission. So you are telling me that the $700,000 that the Chinese government or Chinese companies paid into the account of the Flagbearer Foundation. You are telling me not investigate that, or you may not investigate that. Is that serious government? That what we have done, or what allegations of corruption that have taken place before the coming into force of this act, you may not investigate them. And we know that bulk of the corruption, took place within that period. And UDP and other parties that are serious and have concern about fighting corruption in this country, we have challenged government on it, and certainly UDP will not behave like Adama Barrow and his cohorts. When you talk about energy, see, we know that this has been a perennial problem. It's more than 30 years. In fact, it's going to about 40 or so. It was in the on Tobacco Day, I think in 1977,
Mhm.
when GUC went kaput.
Mhm.
And since then, we've been living in darkness. Successive governments, including Daf Jawara, Yaya Jammeh, and the current government, have been coming out with what they call a plan to ameliorate these problems and the energy problems in this country, to address them properly.
Mhm.
None has really been done. You see, when Mr. Sane and I were in charge of the OIC, we
Mhm.
went out to seek assistance.
Mhm.
And I personally told each of the presidents that I met that this OIC conference taking place in the Gambia is one that we have just hosted. But this is a conference of the Islamic Ummah.
Mhm.
Any failures in it is not Gambia's failure. Any failure in it is the collective failure of the Islamic Ummah. So what would make it a successful conference? We should all put our heads together, put our resources together so that we see it through.
Mhm.
And this is that, we really got assistance for electrification. That's why you have this Jambul, this Jambul power plant.
Mhm.
So these are some of the things that we do. But what we are saying is that now you must have a mixed sources. Whilst you are graduating
Mhm.
diesel from fuel, you from fuel to green energy,
Mhm.
clean energy. While doing this, you should use both of them together.
Mhm.
And then affordability, that depends on the earning capacity of the individuals, of the people who are the users. I hear the president that by 2030, by end of this year, it will be 96% accessibility.
Yes.
We want to see that. And certainly, we would congratulate him for doing that. But it is not really running wires in a village like Darboe, running wires there and getting meters
Mhm.
in the houses. It is the ability
Mhm.
by the energy that you want to use on your premises. And that is what is lacking. So that you have all the wires, you have all these things installed everywhere. When ordinary people, particularly in the provinces, cannot afford it. Can you imagine going to Navek and just buying $50 unit? We are just using that for 20-25 minutes. And because people don't have the capacity, don't have the means
Mhm.
of really buying the quantity of energy they would use in their homes, that is why they resort to buying the $25, $50, and so forth. People go there. Honestly, I've been there on several occasions. People will come to me and say, look, Doma Yokal, Dama Muna.
Yeah.
So, so it must be affordable.
Mhm.
When I tell them that our consumption is being subsidized, I say, but by who? It's not by government. It is ordinary Gambians whom you say whose consumption you are subsidized. They are the ones who are providing that money. You are
Mhm.
not. So nobody should praise himself for that.
Mhm.
And it will be money properly spent. It would not be money spent like on issues like maybe farmer store.
Yeah.
It will not be money. It will not that type of money, but it will be money properly spent on people. So nobody to really pound his chest and say that I'm doing this, I'm doing these things for you. Now, of course, when you talk affordability, it's just not electricity,
Mhm.
but everyday needs. The bag of rice, the potato, fish. These are they affordable? Rent, are they affordable? In fact, in the first place, the situation is so confusing. I say so confusing because one does not know whether landlords are really complying with the Rent Control Act or not. But whatever the case, rents are becoming extremely unaffordable in this country. And you are not having an alternative for it. I would have thought that what the Jawara government did in Bakote, built low cost houses,
Housing.
gave it to the those people in the junior civil servants, the police sergeants, the inspectors the inspectors in the prison service. I thought that is what should continue. Then really, Social Security allocating a plot to a clerk in the courthouse whose salary is not more than $6,000, and expect him to really develop that develop that land. And if you do not allocate it, you in fact sell it to them. When I last knew about $75,000 for a plot. So on affordability is just not in the energy sector, but in every aspect of living in this country.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
So, Mr. Darboe, I heard you talk about corruption. One of your former colleagues, you know him, Henry Gomez, recently had an interview with Panderi Toure, and his insinuation when he was asked about corruption, the question was, they're gonna adore again. That is a street word for, taking bribery and all. He was, what is new? Mr. Darboe was there. What did he do? This person was there. You were in government. You served as Minister of Foreign Affairs. You served as Vice President, one of the most powerful members of cabinet to my estimation, until you became Vice President. What was your record in terms of ensuring that you were not corrupted and that you were also saving the taxpayers from their money being pillaged while you were in government?
When I hear people like it, when they make those type of statements, I laugh. Honestly, if any member of this government has anything on me, they would just have exposed it. They would have taken that as their disatu. Pick it out and say, here it is. I say, I'm not saying this demeaning anybody, but what we call jump. I have jump. I cannot see my grandchildren who are in universities reading articles about me, showing me in bad light, showing me to be a corrupt person. I cannot afford it. I have never been involved in anything that is corrupt, and I don't think anybody has ever mentioned that Mr. Darboe has been involved in any acts of corruption in this country. You see, I had gone on missions, and I was supposed to stay for periods on the mission, but when I complete my mission, I come back home, and whatever days I've not spent, I return the money. Those are not what you call interest, but my own SD entitled. But then it was for a purpose, and it's for a specific period, days. If you are supposed to be there for 6 days and you are there for 4 days, why do you have to really retain the allowances for the 2 days? It's not yours. I've done that, and I challenge them. Who among them has ever done that? Including Henry himself. He and others would rather try to that even the impressed that's supposed to be the cabinet secretary have it spent for them. And I have never allowed my permanent secretary to spend the impress on any of my affairs. I've never allowed it.
Thank you. Sarian.
Thank you, Mr. Darboe. Mr. Darboe, I wanted to follow up. I listened to you very carefully. You mentioned people, their struggles, over and over and over. In fact, you make an example of OIC when you and Amadou Sani went around. You communicated to potential donors that this is not about Gambia, it's about the Ummah, because you've seen the entirety of any undertaking. It composes of Gambia at large. Now, listening to you, and obviously you're on the ground, you understand the struggles, you hear people daily struggles, and what are the pitfalls and the challenges that we face as a country currently. What would be, because election is about the future, we know, we heard the problems, but what would be the UDP, what would UDP government do in terms of tackling energy crisis, healthcare, affordability issues for Gambians?
Something crazy
Yes,
happened.
something happened. So
Hello.
yes, did you hear my question?
I think he answered that already. Musa.
Yes, I think I heard your question. As far as energy aspect is concerned, I think I have tried to do something on that, unless you are not satisfied with my response. But as far as the health is concerned, what we believe is that when you talk about health, we are not talking about buildings. We are talking about human beings. We are talking about that pregnant woman. We are talking about that child who is suffering from some ailments that needs overseas treatment. We are talking about that young girl who is suffering from sickle cells. We are talking about that old man, that 70-year-old man who is diabetic. He's amputated. That's what we are talking about. We are not talking about buildings. And we are also talking about the professionals, the orderlies in these hospitals, the nurses, the doctors, their professional upliftment. This is what we want to talk about. And this is going to be our focus. You can have as many tall buildings, call them hospitals, but the service that they are supposed to render, if you don't have that, then you do not have what is called a hospital. You just have buildings. So our focus is really on the human being. How are you going to handle that 70-year-old man, somebody in my age, diabetic and having amputated, sometimes double amputees? What do you do for them? That young girl who has sickle cells, what do you do for her? This is what we are thinking about, and this is our whole plan. And we have statistics of people of in various categories. Those who are between the ages of 5 years and 15 years, 16 years to 25 years, categories. Each of these certainly would need specific attention. And we do not believe that budgeting to address our healthcare system, we don't believe that is a budgeting issue. I think it is a priority issue. I want to really acknowledge and congratulate President Barrow for the Hassan Musa Health Center in Kantora, for the Sheriff Mustafa Diba Health Center in Salkenya, for the Sefo Jarga Job Health Center in Jokadu, and for the Ajajuma Jallo Health Center in Jimara, specifically in Mankamankunda, and the Nyakude Drame Health Center in Kianjali. Yes, we certainly want to congratulate them for at least putting up the structures there, something that people can say that these are our hospitals. But then, are they giving the services that they are supposed to give? Do they have the required drugs? Do they have the required personnel who will attend to them? Do they have the real equipment? And I think this is what President Barrow ought to have adverted his mind to. In fact, being guided by professionals in the Ministry of Health, these are the things that you should have directed their minds to. Imagine you build the Kerjariga hospital, millions of dollars injected into that. The services that it provides does not take care of emergency situations. Why wouldn't you have really upgraded the SL Health Center into a referral hospital? Get it well equipped with all that it needs to make it a hospital. Get all the health workers, the required health workers there, and incentivize those health workers. Because if you do that, 1 o'clock in the morning, a pregnant woman goes into labor, and it's not possible that she would give birth in the natural way. You have to rush her into the theater. Where is the theater that you're going to rush her? There are no ferry service. There are no speedboats to ferry her across to Banjul. You do not have the Farafenye Health Hospital also properly equipped. So for me, these are all questions of priorities. For them, it's just let them see the building. That's okay. Loptanla. But what makes them Loptan is not there. So this is where we differ. And I think this is what we want to do for the Gambian people. Always have at the back of your mind. You see, 3 days ago, I was touched when I was visited by a group of disabled persons. One of them in wheelchair. And the spokesperson said, look, this woman is in wheelchair. I am a woman. I know when we go into labor, how difficult it is. Can you imagine somebody who is crippled from waist downwards? Can you imagine her going into labor? She ends up going through the cesarean operation. Can you imagine this lady who is crippled? She's diabetic. You amputate her. Someone who already limbs are not strong. You amputate her. Can you imagine that? And these are the things that we think we should be addressing. And hopefully, Dr. Sise will hear this, and hopefully he'll take it to his boss and say, when he says that we do not have policies, I don't think, because what the MPP actually was riding on UDP, you know, it was what we are doing. Our constitution, you look at our constitution, you look at their constitution, they copied from us. Everything that we do, that's what they have 10 million, we have a student thing, they have some student union thing. You have disabled members in the executive, they put disabled members in the executive. So not doing anything different. You know? And certainly, I think one politician did say that is actually all the political parties, their policy differences are not much, and I agree with that, but I cannot remember who. So even CA doesn't have anything different from what UDP. So really, I think when he was saying that, you know, he was just addressing people who were there to respond to him.
So
thank you.
So, Your Excellency, I want to come down to the crux of the matter, and that is, we went through the First Republic, we went through the Second Republic, and here we are, supposedly the Third Republic. Income distribution, Gambia is an extremely poor country, but the people that usually get by, I want to call it that, are public officials at the top. If I want to be okay, let me go to Salom and run under an NPP ticket, and tomorrow I'm a National Assembly member, I'll have a brand new Prado. All I have to do is make certain moves and I'll be at the top. The person that is left behind is the woman who wakes up in the morning selling vegetables at the Serekunda market, Albert market. My sisters and cousins in Kaur, they've lived under these conditions for a long time. Yes, a poor country, but the budget hasn't changed. They're allocating allowances. They're allocating a lot of money to these people. The clerk or the nurse doesn't have housing like you indicated before. And I want you to tell us, Your Excellency, how are you going to really tackle this problem? Not to play politics, but to say, you know what? We're not going to have this. People going and having Prados, and the guys at the bottom of the ladder cannot even pay their rent. How are you actually going to deal with this problem? Income distribution, who gets what? And I'm not talking about socialism, but policies that will address it, Your Excellency.
Mr. Jeng, certainly you do not have what you call we do not have in this country a system where government gives money or food stamps to families here. We certainly do not have that. But then, of course, we see that the budgets are tailored in a way that addresses, not in a very adequate way, the plight of the farmers. Now, take it at personal level. I am making another
Oh, the audio has gone.
The audio has gone, sir. We can hear you.
There's a background noise.
There's the background noise. We can hear. Go back and check, I guess. Can you hear us, sir? Yeah, it looks like there's some technical issues. And Seku, I'm not bringing you on because it looks like anytime I bring you on, for whatever reason, it takes the, yeah. So,
hello?
Yes,
Yes,
we
sir.
can hear you now.
We can hear you, sir.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Darboe, we can hear you.
Can you interview with the academic?
No, but
Exit and enter. By way.
Just take your time. Bye.
What about this?
Farmers, you can mute them until they settle it down. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting
Yes, well,
apart from the technical,
yep.
you know, I think
It looks like you've been able to ask a lot of questions, though.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Hold on one second. Let me unmute him. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, maybe two, and then they will come back again.
Yeah. So it's getting interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And You know, unfortunately, where is it again? Let me add it.
Can you hear me?
We can hear
Yes.
you, sir. Can you
Can
hear
you
us?
hear-
We can
Yes,
hear
we
you.
can hear you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
My God, I mean, this is disrupted. And what I was saying is that I am giving an article that will take a 30% cut from the president's salary and allowances also, and the household expenditure will certainly be reviewed so that the savings that will be made from that will be applied to areas that will help in agricultural production. Because what we want to do was to make sure that the farmers get opportunities and facilities to maximize their production. Yeah? And the Meet the People campaign, political campaign tours, certainly will be drastically reduced. And I'm saying this, and measures that will take will probably not be pleasing, because that's why we are going for a 5-year, a one-time 5-year, and do the needful. Because when you are not looking for re-election, you really needful and do what is right. There is no massaging of anyone's political ego. So we'll have to make savings. Look, when I say that the farming community should be given free fertilizer, it is doable if you do the proper savings. All these allowances that you pay to people who go on the Meet the Farmer store, if you stop that and confine the Meet the Farmer store, whatever, to only the relevant officials, because every department that is of relevance during this store, they all have directorates in the provinces. In every region, you have a director of agriculture. In every region, you have a director of health. In every region, you have a director of education. So what's the need of taking the permanent secretary? What's the need of taking the minister? These are the technicians who are on the ground. They are au fait with the problems in the regions in as so far as it affects their areas of operations. They should be there to really advise the president on what ought to be done and what ought not to be done. So we'll make sure that the government expenditure is reduced to its barest minimum, not sacrificing efficiency and not sacrificing your targets to be achieved.
Thank you
Yes.
very much.
So, Mr. Darboe, we're in the political.
Let me just add.
Yes.
I have said, and I really mean it, that it is scandalous that the president, in order to win the sympathies of the public servants, says we are going to increase salaries by 30%. We certainly want to give incentives to us public servants because some of them are hardworking, doing all their best for this country. But most of them are also not motivated. So I'm not saying that they should not have an increase in their earnings. But if you announce that you are going to give 30% increase for the earnings of the public servants, the greatest workforce in this country, the farmers, for 3 consecutive years, their earnings have been stagnant. $3,000 a ton for 3 years. You are not telling us, even before the farming season starts, you are not even giving the farmers an incentive that we are going to buy your nuts at $6,000 per ton, so that incentivizes the farmers to grow and make sure that they do not only go for good yield, but also cultivate hectares and hectares of land and produce in anticipation that they're going to get $6,000 per ton for their produce. I think government. I think that is what government ought to have done to incentivize them. They are giving the 30% increase to incentivize the public service. Do the same thing for the farmers.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Mr. Darboe, now coalition time. You have the Gambia First coalition, which you the flag bearer, but there is a vast lack of trust in some corners of politicians giving experience. So the question is, Mr. Darboe, as the candidate of Gambia First coalition, what assurances would you give Gambians that if you were to be elected president, that you will respect the political agreements, uphold its commitments, and not repeat or even worsen the leadership failures we are currently experiencing under Barrow?
Well, Mr. Jao, what I want to say is that I do not agree to anything that I would not abide by. That is me. So that's why when they said, look, to create trust, we have to sign this, have to sign that. Well, yes. Is it the document that you sign? That is what going to show your character? You know, people grow up in environments that mold their character and shapes their character. And because of the environment in which they grow up to be honest people. They grow up to be people who are sincere to their partners. And that is why I say, look, I'm not really desperate to be president of the Gambia. Otherwise, I could have accepted all these things. Let us have a candidate, let us on. And I take it and then I do otherwise. I say, look, this is what I want to do. What can you do about that? But I don't want to get into such a situation. You agree with me that we forge partnership on trust. And I want to all parties who are coming into partnership with us to trust me. And just as I said, then I'm jump. Then I'm jump. Can do jumps in do me bad. There's a by left in the phone. That will never happen. Yes.
Thank you, Sarian. I think, Mr. Darboe, before Sarian comes, how many more minutes do we have?
No, we have some minutes, Pasamba.
No, I just want to respect that. You know.
No, we have some minutes. Here, we are here. We're having a conversation.
How many minutes did we lose?
Huh?
I think we used about 16 minutes.
We lost about 16 minutes.
Yes.
Well,
I think I'll prevail on Sekou to compensate for that 16 minutes.
Baba Kilenge ya watan bangi nyatang. May watan.
I will appeal to Sekou. We can compensate for that 16 minutes.
What the my mama like? It's my turn. Please.
Good.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Darboe. Mr. Darboe, you alluded to the one-term 5 years, one-term 5 years, and I think Coach kind of asked a question indicating to that. But I want you to kind of dilate to those who might be skeptical joining alliance with UDP today, saying that, hey, there is a 1997 Constitution. I mean, when they're elected in office, they can do what they want to do. And you talk about trust and integrity and everything else. But what can you assure those that this will be different if they form an alliance with UDP? Your word is your bound. And in terms of whatever comes into sharing positions, you will honor that, because there's a lot of skepticism. And every time you go in there and start talking, this will be different, people start referencing 2016. And I kind of want you to set the stage and dilate on that a little bit more and assure those who might be sitting on the fence to come on board to join alliance with UDP.
Well, Sarian, agree that you have a lot of skeptics, and you also have a lot of people who really believe in the honesty of Mr. Darboe. You see, grandeurs of office do not really control my thinking. Grandeurs of office do not control my decisions. If grandeurs of office mean anything, you see, today I would have been vice president. I would just be running after Adam Barrow, doing what he wants. How that would have happened, more likely to happen. But I didn't believe that I should really be holding to office when what ought to be done is not done. I'd rather be out and struggle with others who share the same vision with me, so that we can have in place a government that is responsive and sensitive to the needs and aspirations of the Gambian people. Again, I just have to say that those who are willing to come work with us, they should have confidence in me. They should have trust in me. See, I will not, nobody has suggested that I should run for one term. Nobody has suggested that. It was my own thinking. Now, I said I should run just for one term. It's not a party policy. If it was UDP's policy, then, you may think that I can resign from it because it's not something that I thought of, something that is imposed on me. But I felt that identifying key areas as of concern to the Gambian people, identifying them and addressing them during the one term should be sufficient. And I believe that I would then leave with my legacy untainted. You see, there's one thing. I don't want any historian to write anything about the political history of this country and then say that Mr. Darboe has done this, but then at the last lap, he tainted his legacies. In fact, tainted would even be a more respectable way, so that he damaged his legacy. That I will not. That will never happen. See, I maintain my I will try to maintain my legacy, even if I do not win the elections. And I've told people that if that happens, look, I would be another Dankwa of the Gambia, as we have Dankwa in Ghana. I would be an Awolowo in the Gambia. I would be Elam Kurage from Senegal in the Gambia. So really, the presidency is not what is going to define my legacy. And I will not say anything or do anything that will really taint my legacy or destroy my legacy. Those people who have any doubts about me really do not know who Usain Darboe is. Those who really know who Usain Darboe is will tell you he will never tell you something and resign from it. It's not what the Mandinka say. Usain Darboe is not that type. Yeah.
Your Excellency, if there is one thing that the country needs from December 6th, it's a leader who can unify the country. Going all the way back to 2016, it's all about politicking, whether election or no election. Camp this, camp that. UDP, NPP, kilenge jam khair, kilenge sani khair. No leader, this current leadership cannot unify the country. What makes us believe that you are the person unifying the country? And let me say this, I want to come clear. On this platform, I have said, Inde, that you are not the person that can unify the country, and these are the reasons that I gave, and I want you to address them, the opportunity. I said, Mr. Darboe, in 2016, after we defeated and sent the dictator packing, it was pretty much a UDP government, a coalition government, but you were very powerful and influential. You were unable to unify the UDP at that time. And then I said, just recently, you have a UDP that could have been very powerful, united for 2026, but you were unable to unify the UDP at this juncture. Why should anybody believe, when it's going to be even much more challenging, that you can unify the country if you win the presidency, Your Excellency?
Very well. So these are perceptions and, of course, opinions held by a lot of people who are my detractors. I am very much alive to the fact that Gambia, since when we, after the 2016 election, I am very much alive to the fact that Gambia was a very polarized society. And in order to combat that polarization, in my own small way, I've tried to make sure that all the faiths and all ethnic groups were represented in cabinet. I tried to impress that on the president. And where it was not possible to get all ethnic groups in the cabinet, I ensured that in the portfolio that I was responsible for, ethnic groups that are not in the cabinet get senior ambassador appointments. And that I did in order to bring the nation, bring us, all of us, closer to each other. When I stepped out of prisons, before getting to the vehicle that brought me home, I said, I forgive Yahya Jammeh for whatever he has done to me. That is reconciliation.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a step to unifying the Gambian people. Yes, it is the perception that that government was a UDP government. Well, look, OJ was PPP. Isn't that right?
Correct.
Musa Drame, PPP. Isn't that right?
Correct.
James Gomez, PPP. Isn't that right?
Correct.
Why aren't you saying that it's a PPP government? Why? Because the three of us are in cabinet. You say it's a UDP government. It's a fallacy. And I just want to think that other people should just step back and look at this thing dispassionately and not really think that, look, yes, these UDP, they're demons. I have got people, convinced the people to appoint people to ambassadorial positions, not because I had any personal relationship with them, but I thought they're people who could serve and they belong to sectors of the society that you could consider minority. And people tend to blame me for that, like Mr. Blaine. Who could you have as an ambassador in any country better than Mr. Blaine? Mr. Blaine is a Catholic. Maybe if I knew him, was in school when he was very much my senior. But other than that, I knew nothing about Mr. Blaine. Of course, his track record in the Gambian civil service and in UNDP. And I thought that was a perfect gentleman to serve in. And that is what I have been advocating for. A united Gambia. Because if we are not, no head of state can really handle the affairs of this country efficiently, effectively, and successfully. A divided nation cannot progress.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have a united government, a government united in purpose and in focus before we can achieve anything successful. Yes, there will be bigger risks. Did I fail to unite the UDP when I was in government? I don't think I did. You know, when I started, I said, look, I don't accept anything and I don't reject anything. We were working people we knew, or we thought we were actually UDP.
Yeah.
When in fact they were plotting against UDP. And people are really bent on a certain cause. There is no amount of persuasion that will bring them back online and do the right thing. You see, early 2017, a particular gentleman was reported to me, and the people from URI said that we have to remove this man as our chairman. We don't want him because this is his objective. And I was kind of, look, how can you do that? You've been working with this gentleman for several years. You cannot disgrace him. You try to have a rapprochement. And me creating that rapprochement, I mean, really allowed them the opportunity. But
Exactly.
These were people who are really bent on leaving UDP, because if you cannot take the party, if you cannot hijack the party, we'll go away. There's no amount of persuasion. Now, to prepare UDP for 2026, of course, I think I have done everything in my power to really get the people unified. But then when people have an agenda, and they are hell-bent on implementing that agenda, you cannot succeed in getting them to do what you want them to do. But then, that is completely different now. For us, my government, there would be no question of comes here, come there. There comes there because the man there wanted re-election and re-election. I don't want any re-election, so I'm not going to depend on any camp. Just to make sure that the country is on the right path. And then 2031, all players will have equal opportunity
to do their
thing. Really present themselves without fear of any undue influence being exerted in favor of another. With GRTS, giving service to everybody in the way they do to other parties.
Thank you very much, sir.
Mr. Darboe, to Musa Jang's chagrin, we agreed. We want to keep our words. I know they're waiting for you. I've been getting texts from Sekou. They're waiting for you to go to your event at the Serakunda market. So I just wanted to give you an opportunity. We have a lot of questions. We've dealt with you before. You know how this goes.
No, we should go one round.
No.
One round, one.
No. Most they said us, we have to respect that. So I just wanted to give you the opportunity, Mr. Darboe, to just give your closing remarks. And we'll make an arrangement to have you again so that we can continue this conversation.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for this opportunity. I think we have not had a conversation for more than 2 years now, I believe so.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we've never had a conversation. Thank you very much. And I want to tell the Gambian people that the opportunity that is being given to them to decide the fate of the Gambia should not be missed. You have really taken the trouble to register. You must also be willing to go out and vote on the 5th of December so that the government of your choice you can establish in this country. And I want to appeal to all that we should be civil, we should be respectful, we should act with decorum to each other. After all, me, the politician, I want the vote of Musa Jeng. And I have to respect Musa Jeng. I have to persuade him to give me his vote. And this is what I'm asking everybody to do, particularly the UDP supporters. And I want to tell the UDP supporters and every Gambian that they should not be in doubt that we are going to ride on our horse carts, on our donkey carts, on our motorbicycles, on the tops of the gele-geles, and defeat this man with all 200 vehicles. We are going to do it. And those who are coming to us, I say to all of them that each and every one of them is a presidential candidate running in this particular election. Not that their faces will be on the ballot box, but they are also the presidential candidates. So together, we must work and make sure that the person whose face is on the ballot box is elected. And when he's elected, all the leaders of these parties who are working with me will also have won as presidential candidates. That is what I want to tell Gambian people. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, sir. And again, continue enjoying your birthday. So
Thank you, Mr. Darboe. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
We
Appreciate
really
you.
appreciate you. Thank you, Sekou.
Thank
I know
you.
Sekou would be
Thank
joining
you.
us. For the UDP folks, your administrative secretary for information is going to will replace Mr. Darboe to continue this conversation. But thank you so very much, Mr. Darboe. Have a wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Baba's
And
keyword today is
Sariang,
yes.
Saria, when you came at this, my condolences for Abdullah.
Yeah, Karamo, Uncle Karamo, yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Interesting conversation.
Okay, okay.
Interesting conversation.
And I think to me, the closing remarks did it all, because politics is not a game, but an art of trying to win people to vote for you. Because if we all believe that only those who support us, if they vote for us, we're going to win, there will be no need for a campaign. And the reason why Mr. Darboe is now going to Serakunda Market, he is not very much worried about the UDP supporters. His is, how do I get that NPP-leaning supporter, that DOI-leaning supporter, that Unite-leaning supporter to convince them to come to me? We could not ask all the questions because the time was short, but we'll get him back here to continue this conversation. And this is what we intend to do with all the candidates. Even Barrow, we have tried 1 billion times. He will not come. We don't bite. You come, we ask you questions respectfully, give you a chance to answer your questions, and then we all go our way, because we believe that our listenership are smart enough to be able to decipher or, digest any information that comes to them. But, it was a good one, definitely.
Again, Pasamba, like you said, obviously, I wish we had 2-3 hours to delve on every issue to be asked. Because whatever we say on this platform, whether it's the UDP or the PA, should be presented to him and hear his response. Not the ones that are commenting, because even before the PA said anything, you get joined it. And this is where the closing remark was important. And he consciously talked about Musa Jeng, that he's somebody that I would want to win his vote. I mean, it's different from the ones that have been calling me names all this time. But again, it's a good interview. For me, I really wanted to be, candidly, very policy driven. So I'm on a 3 hours long, then we would deal with every issue. Because Pasamba and Sarian, what we are tired of is to basically talk to these politicians about the affordability issue, and then it just becomes a political gimmick. And when they get there, it will just be business as usual. And I think it is important to ask those questions and then challenge them. That doesn't mean that we're against them or we don't like them. Because for me, for the party to come here and we don't ask the difficult questions, I don't see how that would help him at all.
No, but the thing is, I think it's silly. In fact, you even underestimate the past. He cannot deal with. The guy spent his whole life asking difficult questions to people. That was his thing. And if whether it's Mr. Darboe, whether it's Halifa, whether it's anybody who is aspiring to lead Gambians, you are definitely going to get tough questions, sometimes very inconvenient questions from people. You are trying to lead them. But again, it is what it is. It's our politics where sometimes we treat our leaders like demigods.
I think the key word today is respectuma. That's what Mr. Darboe said, and we need to hear. And also being active and alert with his age and answer questions. So I think let's see the positive side. He came out here, he answered the questions to the best of his ability. And I think he was very alert, and he answered the questions succinctly. And I think the closing remarks, as I agree with both of you guys, he advised, he extended an olive branch to those, my question to those who might be skeptical, those who might not align with UDP, but he extended an olive branch to them to say, I will be your president if you give me the opportunity. anyone who is part of our alliances, look them as winners of the president. And I think that is pretty profound. And I think, considering he telegraphed when you ask him about, not be able to bring the country together. He kind of give historical perspective, what he did when he was in the government. He bring people different, So I think based on everything else, where we are today as a country, we are more divided. Yeah. And I think, we all need to be cognizant of that situation. And we all need to work collectively to ensure that, this doesn't continue. We've seen cases and cases before the program. You guys talk about Ibrahim Adiba. That should not be acceptable in the Gambia anymore. And I think we all, hopefully, all the presidents and candidates, but bravo to him, 78-year-old. He was very, very active and he engaged. And mentally, he's very, very stable and he's very, very active. So that, based on the conversation, I was smiling because all the things that he was saying, very, very allotted. So obviously, I hope the conversation goes on. Whoever is the best candidate for the Gambia, we ultimately select it and get out of this current predicament, because I think this is like a holy war. I mean, Gambians been inflicted with pain. And if we continue on this trajectory, it's not good for a country. So hopefully all our hearts will come together and fight against, what is going on in our country. We cannot surpass 10 years, Musa. I mean, it's just the truth. And whatever that brings it, we need to fight that.
Well, Sekou, I'm going to start with you. I mean, we have the bar here, and he was treated with respect, and we asked the questions that I believe he answered them to the best of his ability. There are people on the comment side, I mean, using the F word, directed, and this is after the power caution, and they overlook all that. And whatever question that I ask, I'm the biggest tribalist on the face of the earth, and that's the motivation for asking this. And I know they're saying, "Oh, don't listen to anybody," but I'm just saying, how do you talk to people like that? They're not really interested in the usual. If even the party that I support, if they were to come here, I'm not going to treat them any differently. I like to ask the questions that I believe people want to ask. That's the only way they can be convinced. I directly ask the unifying issue. There's a reason why I picked that. Because I think it's one of the issues that people kept saying. Nedipa may not be able to unify the country, so that they can hear it not from Sekou Kamara, not from Karamba Toure, because these are people that I know that they're progressive, but from the Pa himself, because I know he's an honest man. Let people hear from him. How can a question like that be seen as being hypocritical or being a tribalist? I just don't understand it. I'm losing my mind. What say you?
Musa, thank you very much. And again, ñu ngi jégalu si waxtu bu gàtta bi. Ma coach Pa Samba Jaw dañ yaaka di plan li di bi December 2025 pour isi fi parti leader mu waxtaan ak yéen. Ñu am ñaari date ñaari yoon, end of November ak December mu tombé ñaari dëcc. Yéen a ngi fàttali ko dëcc Dr. Cissé.
Right.
Kololi clinic yaakaar na ak beneen dëcc bu amoon moo taxoon mënuñ ko na def. Léegi na dugg nañ si campagne. Dangaa gis ne samedi dimanche moom toogut. Mun si kaw tànkam bi mu ngi wóor mu ngi waxtaan askan yi di leen ñaan seen carte pour ñu mun ko koo jox. Waaye ba tey rek fulal bu mu fulal waxtaan boolam fi dee am, fulal bu mu fulal diaspora bi, fulal bu mu fulal plateforme bi ak yi ñi toog fii du tey démb la woon. ñu ne kuréel nag gannaaw laay féetoo.
Correct.
So moo tax ñu ne tey suy benn wattu sax nañ ko jël yaa ngi koo gis aso bi la sol war a dem marché Serekunda suñ campagne manager bi ak suñ organizing secretary bi xam naa tey suma maam yi nañ leen saaga ba bourse parce que yaa maa kool rek maa leen a reject because ñoom ñi ngi am programme moom foofu waaye Moussa foog naa dafa am coach Passa Majaw dafa am lu mu fi dee far di wax saa su ne mu ne waxi géeja sax a koy tontu foog naa ñun léegi ñun ñëpp dañ war a def ndox suñ boppa yi ñu bañ di jox nit ñi yenn plateforme because am na ñeena ñoom su gaay jaarutee si wax keneen wax si turi keneen kenn du leen déglu so ñoom nu gaay mën a def rek mooy léegi-léegi ñëw si ay plateforme yaa waxtaan yow gis nga parti leader si boppam bu mu ñëwee waxtaan bu mu fi def
correct
dégg ngeen ko foogoon naa ne sax xëy na sax na fàtte nijaay sariyam bu gaañu woon bu moo jeexal waxtaan bi nu waxtaan bi gaata fàttelu na loolu ba ko ziyaare si loolu so loolu mun laa wax ne problème bi nekkut su ñun dafa am nit ñoo xam ne ñoom politique Gambia bu keroog bu ma fi doon géej lii laa leen waxoon ma ne am na ñeen dañ yaaxa politique Gambia dañ ko saltel loo Moussa man nekkul ne dama try pour divert attention bi
right
waaye gis naa ko fi moom su boppam toog mu ne nit a ko wàllu ko naari soo moom parti li la moo saaga mu saaga Ousainou Darboe nekkul ne Ousainou Darboe moo ko wàllu ñaaw wala UDP ñoo ko wàllu ñaaw benn nit moo ko wàllu ko naari mu ne waa comme que yow parti nangam ngay support comme sa parti lii la nangama
yeah
nga yow dafa ñaaw waaye waxoon naa ko fii mën na leen ne parti su politique bi moo salte te ñun léegi ñun ñoo war a bañ di jox even ñooñu attention yaa ngi am plateforme fii ku ñëw saaga waaye waru koo saaga nañ leen blog génne leen si waxtaan bi Moussa nañ wax boo xam ne dëkk bi dañ toll foo xam ne dee nga parti la muy wax jigéen moo xam ne tànkaam yi dem nañ ba nangootuñ mu toog si puus ñu ko puus kooku war a umma dem hôpital dañ war a xalaata kooku yan fa suñu solution lañ ko amal ndaw yoo xam ne ñu ngi jël baagwee bi tey seen bakkan di des si ndox gi seen bakkan yi des si suufi salañ yi lañ leen war a xalaatal tey yan fa suñu solution lañ leen war a amal tey suñ kër yi courant dangaa génnee xaalis sa fay doo mën a jënd courant yéen ñu toog si diaspora bi man waxtaan naa ñu bari si diaspora bi dañ leen ba àgg retirement age Moussa mënuñoo dem retire Gambia nekkut ne amuñ xaalis bi wala amuñ pas-pas pour dem retire Gambia wala nga dem retire Gambia feebar sa boo ko fa defee boo mutul sa bakkan des si ndey balaa nga am opportunité pour nga am medical attention si biti dafaa fekk léet na so lii lañ war di waxtaanee waaye ay ñu dee nekk si comment section waaye ñi ñoo xam ne ñoom ñi ngi génne audio di saaga di génne wax yu ñaaw dama laa ñaan ñu ñëpp ñoo xam ne ñun ñooy stakeholders si ñun la nit ñi dee déglu buñ leen dee dooleel sax di jéem a repeat lu gaa dee wax nañ leen blog bu gaay waxee wax yu ñaaw la continuer suñu waxtaan Moussa man loolu rek laa la mën a advice because waxtaan nañ ba soona wax nañ ba soona waaye dafa mel ni am na ñi ñoo xam ne ñoom pare wuñ pour defar ñoom yaaxale ñoo def so ñun ñu bàyyi ñoo ñu gën a continuer yeah
and Seko li nga wax mooy dëgg sax si boppam and I don't think ne very it's just so silly very ñàkk a yar la si boppam you cannot just sit ba pare lu ma lay wax nit ñi rek yow if you respect your mom nga respect sa parents, the last thing that you will do is insult anybody because ko saga mu feeku. So why would I respect my mom ne saga ni mu urmane man wax ju ñaaw ju ko mom lay indi wat suma ko. But again, like you said, we just have to move on. We cannot be held back by people ñi nga xamne ni want to just stay in the gutter and engage in this foolishness of insulting ko xamne ni hitna mun na la bay sax si bopam. But anyways, Seko, you've had the conversation. Xamna ne yow I guess ki naka la tura the NPP representative on the platform, Boy Fati. I hope that today you will speak English and not go to the local language. So yeah. Yeah. What was your overall take on this?
Anga gaay léegi nit ku ñuul ndeysaan dafa daw yaram. Ñun dañ xeeb suñu bopp trop paasam ba yow.
Oh yes.
Boy see waxtaan bi Boy Fati xaw ma ko de waaye ta yaakaar naa ne man gënuma dégg angale man yaakaar naa loolu te bu dee jàngale yi yaakaar naa ne tam gënuma jàng it te bu dee yeewu la si àdduna gënuma yeewu waaye man waxtaan bi def ma ko ngir coach Passa ma Njaw gi def ma ko ngir Moussa Jang wala Serigne te yéen a ma gën a ràññee àdduna yéen a ma njëkkee si àdduna yéen a ma gën a am àdduna so man suma waxtaan pour fii pour yéen pour ñu leen di déglu la su dee yéen rek la yéen ñëpp am naa seen number mun naa na woyante li ñaar ñu rek waxtaan bi xaataay ab ta teg dañ joxe suñ soxla waaye waxtaan yi soo ñu koo def pour ñu leen dee topp la di leen déglu am yaakaar seen plateforme bi moo tax te ñooñu noonu ëppa doole bi dégguñ angale ñoom suñ laaka yi lañ dégga soo fu mu jaar ñooñu la ñoo waxtaanal tey waxtaanuma John bu dëkk England waxtaanuma Michael bu dëkk America waxtaanuma Lin Chin Yu bu dëkk China Gambien yi laay waxal te Gambien yi ay soose lañ ay olof lañ ay joolaa lañ ay njaago lañ ay pul lañ su ma déggoon laaka yi itam laaka yooyu laay waxtaanee comme que soose olof laa dégg te ëpp doole bi fii nii olof ngeen dégg kon ma waxtaana yéen si olof su ma demee si Pa Modou Bojang nga xam ne moom it soose la dégg te ëpp doole bi ñu koy déglu soose lañ dégg ma laakaa moom ci soose xeebu ma suma booba te xeebu ma ku ma doon te xeebu ma laaka bu ma doon xeet bu ma doon te xeebu ma si askan bu ma jógee it suñu parti lii nag waxtaan bu mu fi def waxtaan boobu noonu yaakaar naa ne politique yi Gambie si lii la war a toolu tey de loolu fi waxtaanee yëpp mooy bu mu nekkee woon si nguur moom lan la fi def suñ ko dimee ba wóolu ko jox ko suñ carte yi dénk ko nguur yem pexe ay yem xalaat lañ ñu amal yu ñu mun a dimbale yu fi war a def ak te buñ ko jëlee sa tuumal ko maa si ñoom Henry Gomez yoo leen fi wax yu gaay wax si moom saagul Henry Gomez xasul Henry Gomez dafa ree loolu mu laa wan ne kon suñ politique ñun foofu la war a tool wax yoo xam ne wax yi ñàkk fayda la wax yoo xam ne waxi tuumalante la jarul ñu saagante jarul ñu xasante nañ waxtaan le xam ne yëpp politique moo ko waral te politique tam foog ñu nangu yeena ay dóorante daala si la booka léegi ñu door la daala nekkut ne dañ la xeeb nekkut la dañ la bañ politique la nde bu politique bi weesoo boo leen dajee ñoom ñooy ñëwaat jox la loxo teg la loxo ñu la waaye keroog na maa la jeeku soo moo tax man léegi waxi politique léegi Moussa Dia du ma ko dee jël sérieux li léegi ñu bari su gaa di wax bi ko da ngaa dajee gaay ñu ne la waaye keroog na maa la jeeku docteur Ismaila Cissé def na ma ko dafa wax lu ko nee si Sékou Camara waaye last time ma dajee docteur Cissé si restaurant lañ dajee mu àndaa jabaram dugga si fekk ma fu ma toog moo doo ñëw ba si man moom Cissé la may Camara ñu kalante mu ne ma ne fi nga dee laaxu ñëw lifin sa mu ne ko waaji kaay toog yooyu nga jël place bul woore sa diina maa ko res mu duggaa jabaram toog ma toogee nele ak suma famille mu toogee nele famille mu lekka ba pare ma lekka ma jóg dugga dem bi si biir ma génn fay suma biir bi fay biili docteur Ismaila Cissé génn dem Ismaila Cissé xëy na sax moom xamu keroog kan moo fay biilaa mi rek te waxuma ko so ku ñu dégg si rajo yi muy wax naan seeku naa te docteur Cissé su ma gisee fu ma gis dafaa ñëw jox ma ñaari loxo comme nga yooyu noonu kon Moussa askan bi la ñoo nax askan bi la ñoo réelal vraiment Ismaila Cissé duñ durante kurpeñ duñ xeex duñ xuloo suñ dajee so suñ jaxsee askan bi ñoom ñu ne bëggaay dajee ñuy waxante wax bu ñaaw ñuy defante lu ñaaw kon noonu maa doota Cissé jubuñ moo tax man su ñëwee tàngal mbir bi ma ko dee oyofal because xam naa ne lu moo wax si rajo yeeg kéet yeeg su ma dajee moom duma ko wax man waaye parti la li mu fi wax rek Pooj Pa Samba Jaw yaakaar naa ne wax yooyu leer na lan la wax mu ne leen moom benn mandat la moo wut xam nga dafa am ko lu xew Gambie loo xam ne bàyyi lañ ko xel Gambie ñun suñ constitution buñ fa amee constitution boobu noonu bon na ba jéegi dayo police yi utee constitution bi yu nekk Gambie soo nekkee koo xam ne ba ku buggee nga nit koo xam ne yaa ngi nama nguur nit koo xam ne bugga ngaa des si nguur pour nga wecci police yooyu du yomba te man dama ko dee wan nit ñi constitution bu Gambie mi di wër man maa leen ko wax fii te déglu leen constitution bi boo na wër pour mun a am constitution Gambie constitution bu bees wallahi di nga jotee nit ñi diine yi di nga jotee civil society di nga jotee nit ñoo xam ne xëy na ñoom ay doxandeem la ñoo Gambie am fa ay doom seen doom yi juddoo fa ndaxte lu mu tax ma wax lii tey soo waxee suñ constitution bi nga laaj leen nga ne leen ne léegi kan mooy doomi réew pour doon doomi réew da nga war a juddoo si réew mi ndax turu inheritance la maanaam da nga ko war a doona kenn sa waajur yi ñoo war a doon Gambie Moussa Dieng topic bii bés boo ko buggee adresse Gambie di nga ñàkk a carte maa la promise bi soo toogaatee nga ne xool suñ constitution bi léegi what is the definition of marriage nga bëgg ko faa def what is your policy on homosexuality same sex marriage nga bëgg fa explain fu mu jaar di nga duuloo gars civil society yoo xam ne human rights activists yoo xam ne ñoom ne la ko gaa gisi su ñëwee si waxi FGM suñ constitution bi soo ko fa bëggee nga bëgg a pass constitution di nga jotee nit ñoo xam ne ñoom they are for or against FGM Gambia tey even a circular state simple statement as Gambia is a circular state or not soo bëggee am constitution bi di nga jotee nit ñi soo nit koo xam ne yow yaa ngi ut carte bugga doonaat président after benn time dafa métti torop soo bëggee jub moo tax ma ne leen man Ousainou Darboe dama ko wóolu si liggéey bi ren comme lu mu ko fi waxee ndaxte lu mu lan la fi mujjee wax mu ne si benn mandat boobu noonu ragalu si kenn xoolu si buti kenn moom lu mu yaakaar ak lu waay doomi réew mi nama si moom ne lii mooy dëgga loolu la moo doxal su ko defee nga ñaaka nga bugga mu toogaa taxawaat woo bugguloo koo wootalaat woo moom uti si loolu moom dafa xool dafa set présidence boo xam ne foundation la moo tax fondement boo xam ne Musa képp ku ñëwaat doon président incha allah dafa fekk moom fondement bi yëpp defar na ko su dee yaaxa der nekk na si moom na jël yaaxa der bi bu dee ñol am na si moom dina ko jël bu dee naxaar am na si moom dina ko jël pour ëllëg si biir président ñuy ñëw buñ di la problème ñuy ñëw Musa fu naa tëddoo jar naa bàyyi jërëjëf.
Brother Maron, go ahead before I come in. Sarian. Okay.
So hamga is a problem because hamga man munma like Olaf. So for igna yeah, more from you kinda, you know. So for
Sarian, you've gone again. Your audio. You know, I'm going Vancouver.
And as my sister Toga good Benachindi.
I think the Benachino.
I'm to follow.
Is the problem is I have this MacBook. It keep going back and forth between my Bluetooth, my AirPods, and the computer.
Okay.
You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, now we can.
Okay. So Faramosa, I want to address this first. You are a very honorable man, and these insults, everyone takes it. They attack me, they attack everyone. But as I said, I think we need to stay grounded and ask the questions, and move on. I mean, you're not tribalist. I mean, I defend you in your absence all the time. Even yesterday, I was in a conversation. So, and I'm very happy anywhere I can say I can defend you because I've dealt with you on daily basis. And somebody, we all created different. Someone can be assertive and say stuff, but we have to respect each other. Yeah. That's the problem, right? And I think sometimes these attacks and all that, if we wanna follow it, man, we get distracted. So please stay put, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. But seu lafta nyirin karo minkela nga kuma danta neta party leader nyimbirana to honorable Ousainou Darboe birana ta platform to be kuma danta bringa nyirin ka fa ko molu min be party ol kono min yalon ko e ba fola ko 2016 minketa ninko benaya ninkambe kafla UDP kan 1997 and ngamre yo kumu jabila mamme bake but se nga ku clean korosi ala ko nyin to fam bina be diamol fahamro banko sambanya anim fannalu minia lonko natra ko UDP ye palaso dila ila Kenya anila koli ba sambala nyami aning mbe kol ke ka nyaming sign ibe falin nale o korosa ala ko to bake an ya nyinin ka fengo fenna ay jabiro so de jabiro mi a lonko a seniata aning ni lamwala ning hakilola iba fahamna la be mimmo foka so ndebe nyinin karo kala dami wolam nyenti ko obviously UDP ning media bungol teme television ite muneje bi miya tinna ko bi modol biye minya lonko ita la fila pour katara UDP kan bari banko betala bulo minto kolea min be kering ma kan min be kere mol min ya lon ko ya ke ko nyim man sakunda to le tamati ko min ko comme ito le tam nin ko atala mo mu fa suula mati jamre ko be min folo no wole pour ka tandila ko nyim mum be ko December 6 natara ni tata marseau ita fole mu UMC leti wala ita fole mu UDP lo wala ba APP or Sobia or something like that ite mu kuma kan civil so pour ka fo moli pour ka tandila ko isita nin hakilol kanata ni jusola pour mbenga doko kenyo kam pour ka man sakunda fale
abaraka mbading namira watin din nsafo ani last week musindungo e message yo kinya Facebook akonya ko seku ndamanke UDP nkati bari fanan adama boro e man sakunda akanyantele mallafi adama boro e man sakunda yetu je kotake katun ko mbay ba tamandir bulo membe bulu ama nyaabo ama nyafa kotake ngako bismillah ko nyoko sandum laftalete afunya munanna nanta karto di la bawsir la wala UDP ndaka mel nyin ka menna momo imu gambia dungoti imu banko dungoti ye kulle so mel ye sula banko ka mun kullan wati adun nata men hakil tu sa yan jama ni nyin karo ke mol samem fo sa fo ko baluwo da ko leya ngoy ko bismillah dol sa fo ko kurango ko leya ngoy ko bismillah no fana moy dol sa fo ko banko tanko bada men bi ni la suto ibuka suto sino dol sa fo ko jaral dula din krato ni fraraje jaralo kun kuol batama kan nyame boru buka soto adun jorangol fana men ko doctorol balanta jaralo fana bari jorangol fana ta jaralo kala men na fongo buka tari anin ku ketangol mo me na fan sum problème ole bar sara nim problème ol be ko no problème teje musa fa men na ko bawsen len problème la mol kan gambi o senea problème teje men sa fa ko sari amaron len problème la mol kan gambi bari man sakunda so dal me yalon ko jiko so de me yalon ko jikita ko woli sanin ko ya talanon kan isa fero lanino fero me yalon ko sanin ko ya bonin kan ne gambi so ndaka men fo gambe dungol ye ni ban nyinin kala sa UDP nyinin ka telle mum feral le soto ka je ko nin kol mel yalon ko la telle sula ko wolti gambia nsa men keno pour ka bondanka nol ka tiajan ngoy ko tanko bundado no member silarin tanko bundado ngoy ko United Democratic Party na programme mo so ka fo me ko security reform security sector reform ni ngo programme mo balari nyaadi la patili de mol le commande mol mel ya lon ko yo banko tanko ku nyakara ya lon do soro do ko ko kabin jawara jamano fo bi dol be je fangani bi ba man sakunda kon ayen nyinin ka United Democratic Party ninna ta laptop programme mon bel landila atelia men sa mon programme la ke jo ka ko banko dingol tankam e ba je la ko mon mel ya lon ko bi ni la suutol sun kanyol ba boyle kan ni joran jawoli be baramele be fongol sunya sugudi nungol mel yalon ko bi wato wadi ba moy lay boyta mol kan e koy boyta musin sunguti nungol kan kam ma dingol kan e be la nyo yalan ko be moy la gambia bi munena ya jame jamono nim problem si fal mansia katun ko ay budo ko le laaje so UDP intel ko ninna tan ba jiral ko momo kanen kurias ko ke me yalon ko ba kula la rawol ka me yalon ko sama sini am mol fon ko badu mo ko dem fana niaje sadi e dingol dinkile ku kuro ke ya buute ma buute da ma kamade pour din kotongol fana mel nyaayo je salon ko nina nin kukru ke baba bo kukru nin kulula nya kiluna lam fananka wobije ni gambe ni Senegal tembo jibe bi pole mo memba larinje nanim na newol memba gambe ni Senegal te Senegal na te ba boy e boy tan kan ye sembo lanna mulka e ko niaje di ningol ko nata kuno muta ya ja tinyal katun ko jawara ba gambe la nena maji Senegal yenin yaji me ba gambia nena maje Senegal yak baro nata ya ibanin tilmbal yata ke ba ke kam munela yo sabu kadun gani adama baro fo state house kon na mo ko Senegal so jero le suñaro ke jele nata ra Senegal so mom yalla ko fo ngol lappale ko ne ko suñaro ke je karwol man sila so nil manke UDP problème bi ni mu gambe problème molti UDP kon na programme so pour kan ko wolde haajo jaar baluwe kolaya
Sangosan Gambia kamendo mano the nafuja non kon kamendo ma tamita toni atal fasan toni keme wuli keme saba UDP ko mbo ko dan na nyaadi nyaaya balu ko la Gambia sefa da ba seleka dola da ba seleka dala suba jikan dala suba boyka mune yo sabu katun ko na sandirla na jenda jaale kata sam bantale ya nat ni ana ni profito la wa kan sariya ni ya wafi balu da ko la tam simo da ko la tam buka sanno ko tek wala na UDP ko mba jibela na Sénégal mel fo ba Gambia ne nyen sembentu ya na manuel dila ne do ko ke na bankol yele ka fo mi yala ko farmers bankol mi yala ko betar la jila pour Sénégal fana mi yala ko sulata don tro la pour do don to bankol do pour que sa ye seno investment o ke seno ko no mbol be kala ka ko Sénégal financier fanje Gambia sa je ko manol mbem import kan asatala dala sosa sele bawo niaje import export babol ka fa men import export wala ikata men wafi banda ni kamen sankad nam Gambia nin kamen samba no ninno kafudo mandi kamen dundi na notra do mandi dala soba sele wala ba fangol da tala la saje sandro nin wafi lal fana nimba sanke bulu aw fana so sono ya do mandi amanda woton ko constitution alba problem fo ka Gambia isa tankano ya be na dia avoka talanto be kadam no de loi marallan loi jawol mel ba Gambia pati adu moja mala fanan ko e même fa mel ka avoko malla fim basila na United ni UDP government onata e kana too powerful e kambo kana wara baka fami yalan ko na menje yaje me na menjo baroto naji UDP fanan pati leader usiru da boko ba fongo sembo tala la nyaadi la aba maranam bu ko nata maranam bu ko me yalan ko nan hakilo baka sanji saba komando wala safa sanji lulu komando van ka don go 2020 lan sanji lulu komando allié molle qui me yalan ko allié de penso di la ko jeta constitution kuto de dal wo constitution kuto e ko CRC alle men dundi o kana tambita dala so million kemete million tanni woro nin fe wo buko balari ndele UDP ma buko safi wo tamaram bukol wo luwa bukol UDP dinta kono milliard da ako abo murundi na le nanne atel gambe dum la lesia kunna aliya kacha aliya sambale député bumolto aliya jibe ka constitution kuto na me yalan ka ba mansa kunda sembo talala aba mansa sembo talala e sembo dum banko dingol bulo kono isa ja la mastal fongo ba maral aliya control anda control la nyam so ni be ba kuwol kono la sariya me yalan ko UDP inshallah nin nata gambe dingol ye silandal ba kuokuto ba tamaram bulo landal me yaaje ko no silandal be ba inshallah.
Thank you.
Abarak.
Faramos, go ahead.
So Seku.
Yes, sir.
When you run into most Gambians, you ask them about 2026, we tend to have the usual response, Baro you win, bro. There are even folks on this platform that believe that Baro is going to win this election. In me, I don't think it's Brother Marong either.
Why not just mention the name?
They're saying that Barrow is going to win. Segu, if there is one thing that we all learn is Adama Barrow, President Barrow, will do anything to win the election. In 2021, Barrow went all the way to Kaninlai, and this is after we sent the evil guy packing. He was willing to cut a deal, and he actually cut a deal to win an election. We all see 2026. Stephen Jai is on a, what I would call orgasmic. They will do anything to win this election. For the opposition, we suffer from little differences here and there. Whether it's the divorce from UDP, Unite, we don't even want to look at it or look at the possibilities. In 2021, UDP, unify, excitement, the diaspora, everything. And I want to take the elections were stolen and just put it aside. I just want to deal with reality. 239,000 votes. That's what UDP got. There are 1 million voters that are going to stand in line to vote in 2026. The question becomes, one has to win at least close to 400,000 votes. Where is the 200,000 votes going to come from? Some will ask. Most people believe UDP is poised, has a better chance of winning. I believe the party that I support, Unite, has a very good chance of winning. But I'm not a dreamer. I believe something has to be done if we want to assure ourselves December 6th and we'll send Barrow packing. What am I missing? And why do you think people are saying Barrow is going to win?
Musa, your ball na dafa bari. Yeah.
So that we can.
Ba pare tam do muna wax ne tam rek ne nañ tege waxi sàcca nele ne lu bokkul ba pare nga bëgg oote number yu fa am dak te number yu noonu wér na nda wérut foog ñu laajte loolu tam njëkka balaa ngaa ne nañ tegee loolu boor ndax boo gisee nit ñi naan Barrow dafa gañe dañ yaakaar ne kon dafa am lu jaar 2021 loo xam ne lu déggu la du jaar yoon so moo tax ñu expect ne 2026 même chose ne woon fa woo so kon Musa ma laaj la leen mbaa xam nga lu tax tabatiya daa duñ ko dee tari su julli imaam yu bari duñ ko dee tari
déet waxal sa bopp de am na ñuy tari tabatiya daa de ñoom passama dañ koy
moo tax ma ne imaam yu bari duñ dee tari tabatiya daa su julli lan moo ko waral ndaxte keroog sallallahu alayhi wa sallam bu mu demee eeg si kaw mountain boobu au hill mu woo xéeféer mu ne leen kaay leen yaa ñoo toog taxaw mu ne leen ndax su ma leen waxee ne am na ay saay-saay yu nekk si gannaaw xeer bii nii ma taxaw ñu bugg a ñëw daanu seen kaw tey fat seen ay bakkan nangu seen alal te doo seen jigéen ñi rey seen doom yi ne di ngeen ko gëm gaa yi na ko waaw yow yaay al sadiq yow yaay al amin yow yaay nit ku déggu ki te yaay nit ku wakkati digga bi kon boo ko waxee ñu war koo gëm mu ne leen kon bu ma leen waxee ne yàlla kenn la te doo leen ko gëm Abu Lahab fa la génnee mu ne leen ne kii nii ay maanaam dafa léeboon lu peen le wax yu ñaaw fa la suura bi wàccee yàlla di róbba Abu Lahab so yow nit koo xam ne nangu nga ne kii nii mën na la ne su ma la waxee ne nit ku bon mun naa ñëw daanu sa kaw di nga ko gëm ngir la wakkati dëgg la musuta def lu tax nga war koo weddi waaye bu la ne la yàlla kenn la ngir bañ a dégga boobu noonu nga bañ ne loolu amut ba nga ko ooyee léebkat xam nga ne kon yow nekkut ne kooku noonu gëmuloo ko de yow da nga gëm da nga nekk sa nafsu da nga bugg a nekk si loo nekk rek UDP fanweeri at parti boo xam ne Musa su dee jotee ñu jiral leen dee bu dem kaso jotee ñu dem tëddal leen kaso bu xiif jotee ñu nangul leen xiif bu mar jotee ñu mar ngir réew mi ñu toog ñu ne leen ne élection nangam sàcc nañ ko te am nañ ay firnde bu ko dem ba fu lu mbaxana nekkee benn gaay bañ nit ñi ne nangu nañ lu nekk yëpp Yaa Jammeh rey na Yaa Jammeh sàcc na Yaa Jammeh dem na lu nekk waaye ñu ne la time yi Yaa Jammeh dañu naan sàcc ñu ne loolu amut Barrow tam ñëw ñu repeat ko United Nations European Union Musa Jeng na métti naa ñëw de waaye fa nga déglu ma fii European Union ñëw nañ ba Gambia ñu ne seen IEC seen numbers yooyu ngeen dee compter polling station by polling station génne leen number yi ngeen wan ñu ko Musa Jeng ba tey yàlla si IEC wanuñ benn doomi Gambia mënut a génn taxaw ne moom gis naa butam fu IEC compter polling station by polling station ñu jox leen results yéen ngeen gis ko waaye nag ñëwal ma wan la fen xëju si toppal borom IEC buñ gëmee na ñoom si lu gaay nekk loolu digga la nañ génnee nomba yooyu noonu polling station by polling station 2021 ñu gis soo kon ñun nomba yooyu suñu ne dañ ñu sàcca daaxa nañ ko moo tax ñu ne ren Musa buñ demee Maasembe by election balaa IEC di compter ba noppi fekk UDP ñun xam ne luñ am ba noppi toog di leen xaar benn carte bu fa manqué woon ñu wan leen ko waaye buñ demee Banjul by election half day ward bu Barrow winee déggu leen UDP ñu leen sàcca dafa am de buñ deelee Kiang ak Foni bu NPP wi ñëwee déggu leen UDP na sàcc dafa am dañ leen congratulate so loolu war na ko UDP ñun dañ déggu pour foofu leer ñoo sa wax bi yow lan moo tax nit ñi yaakaar ne su coalition amee Barrow dafa ñaaka because loolu la Barrow gëmloo nit ñi xam nga Adama Barrow dafa sibooru si ban anam dafa jël groupe yu bari nii naa dégloon keroog sax mu ne PPP bokk nañ si kawam léegi ñoom it ñu si moom te PPP ñooñu génn nañ daaxare ne ñoom bokkuñ ñoom Kéba Jallow moom ak ay famille ma jabaram ak ay jarbaatam ñoo jóg dem si Barrow ñu ne ko ne ñoom bokk nañ si yow Barrow dafa sibooru pour wan Gambia ne tiitloo ñu ragal loo ñu ne moom mu ngi àndaa alliance bu mag boo xam ne bépp parti bu ñëw dóor daanu ne woon fa woon le man maa laa gumloo da tey Adama Barrow toogewuta dara lii moo tam Adama Barrow lu mu bañoon na nangul Mama Kandeh démba fukki at mu ne gaa ngee luwatoo moom su boppam moo gën a wax ko lan moo tam Mama Kandeh lu mu la ca woon Adama Barrow fukki at su gannaaw Adama Barrow bañ lan moo tam mu nangul ko tey loolu mun laa wan ne Adama Barrow toogeewul dara gémé ñi neen la toogee dara ameewul dara lum yaakaar ñun opposition yi nag Moussa Dia waxoon naa la fi keroog bu ma fiy géej ma ne la dafa am lu dem ba leer opposition yi yëpp Adama Barrow nguuram jeex na fu mu nekk nii léegi lu si des mooy kan mooy replace Adama Barrow du yomba pour ñu bàyyee wante ko moo tax ku nekk xam na ne yaakaar na ne suñ ko jiitalee rek moom mun naa doon président ren ñun UDP na ñu ne suñ mbóor bi yaakaar nañ ko suñ programme yi yaakaar nañ leen next week ajuma buy ñëw dinañ sign MOU ak ay parti ak ay movement ak ay organisation yoo xam ne ñoom yaakaar nañ ne suñ ñëwee ñu liggéey UDP ñu nekk benn ñu ñëpp mun nañoo génnee Adama Barrow so coalition booy na woote tam coalition bu sar yaa nga Musa Jeng kii nii coach Pasama Jaw di woote inshallah di ngeen gis mandarga bi door next week Friday te dama ko rew fu nekk ma leen fii balaa septembre di jee opposition yi Gambie ñëpp nañ Gambie nit ñi yëpp nañ bottu si gannaaw UDP ba nit ñi tiit nit ñi nañ bottu si gannaaw Bah Ousainou ba nit ñi tiit te loolu noonu fa laa nekk ba tey ma ne leen fii ba septembre ba balaa septembre di jee wallahi Musa Jeng ooyaat ma fii nga laajaat ma Gambie nañ jox Bah Ousainou boppa nit ñi nañ jox Bah Ousainou boppa yow sa boppa di nga xam ne Adama Barrow caayam naaw na lii maa la ko promise Musa Jeng.
Thank you very much. Yàlla na ko yàlla def.
Inshallah.
Bob Samba.
Ki nga xam ne moo wax ne Adama Barrow might win mooy coach Kanja mi Samba Bissap.
Aha kañ.
And si firnde yi ma ko teg mooy lii bu ma la dégloo nga wax. indi nga ci wax ne mënuñu wax Adama Barrow winam te duñ ci boole sàcc gi nga xam ne moom la UDP wax ne moom lañ labajoon carte gi.
waaw waaw.
waaye leen nag moo xew te loolu mënuñ ko wécci fu mu ne nii. mooy ne ñi nga xam ne ñoom la UDP wax ne seen bind gi nga xam ne moom lañ bind woon.
waaw
jaaru ta luwaa ñooñu ñu ngi seet ñooñu dañoo mën a sànni ba tey ñooñu kenn mënut a génne seen carte fu mu nekk nii.
waaw.
so mel ni carte yi nga xam ne moom la suñ dégloo jëlee sa wax. moom la moom la Adama Barrow sukkandiku woon ba mun a win carte yooyu ñu ngi fa pour moom ba tey.
waaw.
ok now soo gisee man ma ne. opposition bi duñ mun a win. war a believe ni di only chance bi nga xam ne moom la opposition bi am. mooy su fekkee am nañ a comprehensive coalition. xaajaloo gi duñu dimbale anywhere. maanaam part of the opposition I belong to an opposition party. waaye xaajaloo gi du am te nu ma gisee mbir mi di demee. Ousainou Darboe dina nekk ci ballot bi.
waaw. inshallah.
Talib Bensouda dina nekk ci ballot bi.
njort nañ ko.
waaw. Essa Falit nu moo demee ni dina nekk ci ballot bi lum tuuti ñetti nit nañ jànkuwante ak kii nii naka la tudd Barrow te man dama believe ne su loolu xappu ne the only person ku loolu di dimbale mooy Adama Barrow ak NPP. Now the question becomes lan la wecceeku jaral opposition bi. xam nga 2016 demoon nañ ba gis suñ boppa ne bii benn wecceeku am mbaa dégg gën a bari si dëkk bi. moo tax woon it was easy parties yi nga xam ne ni ñu ngi ngaayaloo and all mënoon a ñëw together and form a coalition. That is now not happening. Now ku nekk ngi ñaw sa xaftaan natalu sa ay natalu professionally pare pour nekk ci ballot bi. Everybody wants to be president. And I think that's the biggest problem when Ampul, in fact, Muna am a coalition because everybody feels that they are entitled to become president. The madam believe I guess to Muna illegal voters. As long as they were certified by the IEC, can challenge you at the revising courts, it's going to be almost impossible to overturn during elections. So these people are going to be there. So man, to me, pull yo Musa Jeng and everybody are invested in this. What difficult decisions must be made to make sure that at the end of the day, we are giving the Gambian people a greater chance of making the right decision of voting for the best alternative rather than having our votes going all over the place and then having Adama Barrow ended up winning. Like this happened on Banjul 2018. Barrow winning by about 20-something% of the votes. Adama Barrow may end up winning with 40-something% of the votes and not necessarily with a majority. So what are we going to do? Are we all going to bury our heads in the sand and say that you know what a president? And that's not you only, but everybody else. Or are we just going to look at what we need to change? Now.
Again, si walum sacha bi dore fu ñoo danel fo danele. Fofu nonu. Mistake bo len de mi. Da ngeen de yaakaar ne suñ ne 1 million voters yooyu noonu 1 million voters yooyu yëpp a ñoo rang taxaw si rang woote sànni carte foofu ngeen dee méegee mistake ñun xam nañ luñ toogee te ñun xam nañ fu ñu gaay jaar galgal ñu mbas ñu daal di ñu daan 2021 duñ si sori naa leen wan ne lan moo tax Adama Barrow ak IEC ba tey mënuñoo génnee polling station by polling station compte bu am polling station bu nekk Gambia pour gaa wane because polling station yi am Gambia bi yëpp xam nañ ko legal polling station yi xam nañ ko na ngay génna wan ñu polling station by polling station yu am si Gambia bi yu IEC register ne yi ñooy polling station yi doo ko gis fii balaa abada danaa beneen nguur ñëw def investigation génne number yooyu noonu so 1 million nit yooyu wan noonu bul foog ne ko 1 million nit ñoo taxaw si line ñoo rang woote de
Of course.
Wow. Okay. So ñun fofu nonu xam nañ fu ñu gaay jaar kon nu mako waxe duma ci sori ñun ci election mo ndax ñom inshallah na la won ñun bala IEC di compter be nopi UDP nañ compter carte ye tek te ben carte la wa bu ci manqué ndé ñun dañ dem IEC tegal lañ suñu data bi gaay laaj ñu naka ngeen amé li ñu leen deet sa ñoon newu ci yeen sét la luñ war digala am deet gaay gestu ñu wa ñu wa wax ngeen diga bu lifin bi dooree woon supplementary registration bi bu gaay génnee naka sudut noonu UDP ñoo dem toog leen waxtaan ak gaay càmbar mbir mi wan leen ko gaa ñu ne doo la ñu isin lañ ñu seen ñëw déedéet bu leen woore fu ñu ko jëlee naka leen ko amee naka sudut noonu lii moo am dëgga walam déet ñoom seen bopp ñu gestu ñu waa ñu ne ñu wax ngeen dégga ñu ne kon ragle leen ko te ba tey ñu ngi laajte ay ici raw data bu gaay collect si supplementary registration bi ba tey IEC ñu ngi ko bañ a jox United Democratic Party pour yëg ab yëg ne nii ñu ngi ko laajte te UDP woon na jox leen ko UDP la ñu ne jox leen ko bépp parti si Gambia bi jox leen ko bépp civil society si Gambia bi génne leen ko doomi Gambia yëpp gis ko IEC ba léegi ñu ngi struggle pour génnee ko Pa Sama Jow ñun dañ taxawal gaay ren de ñoom it de sampal nañ gaay pasin boo xam ne ñoom it fu ñu gaay jaroon tunu du ñu fa jaaraat now way coalition booy wax musoon naa fee waxta man ne la Pa Samba Jow suñ bootee boot bu neexee kiñ boot a tax ndaxte xale buy màtte neexut a boot élection bi ñaari yëf ñoo fa nekk nit ñoo xam ne bugga nañ ñu jeexal nguuri Adama Barrow am a new government at least sunu dara sax ñu strengthen suñ démocratie bi buñ am Gambie dooleel ko ak nit ñoo xam ne ñoom président rek lañ bëgg a doon faalewuñ dara lépp loo xam ne ñoom bépp process bépp conversation lépp loo xalaat si àdduna mais nga wota pour def leen président ñoom wallahi coach Pa Sama Jow duñ si bokk te suñ si bokkee nañ si xajam nañ ko xajamal ko pa si suuf ba du dem di nga man su ma waxee Essa Faal man Essa Faal ragaluma ko tiitaluma xam nga lu tax man gëm naa 100% ne Essa Faal gëm na Gambia bugg na Gambia te yaakaar na ne nguuri Adama Barrow is not the best government for Adama Barrow Gambia. coach Essa dina dégg waa nit ñi maa la wax lii nii tey binda ko nga teg ko. Essa Faal dina dégg waa nit ñi na déggantee nit ñi. ndene man gëm naa 100% ne si biir xoli Essa Faal gëm na ne nguuri Adama Barrow bi is not the best government for Gambia te nguuri Adama Barrow bi mënut a génne Gambia su lu nekk te soo demee si doy di ngeen xëccoo gaay lu nekk doole mën a lifin ne gaay gëmuñ ne nguuri Adama Barrow bi is not the best government for Gambia they believe nañ nguuri Adama Barrow bi need to change and doy inshallah ñoomit nañ déggantee nit ñi waaye ñëpp gëmuñ loolu am na ñeena ñoom lu gaay pare ñoom lépp process bépp waxtaan bépp lijjante boo xam ne defu leen président ñoom wallahi nañ ko xajamal te duñ si bokk te su si bokkee nañ ko yàq
bara ma ñu ne wax ji nañ ko téegal mu téegu ñetta laa wax
waaw
ñetti nit laa mention
waaw
nga ne so let me put it this way do you believe ne Talib Bensouda believes ne Adama Barrow nguuram gi dañ ko war a génnee fii nii
dinaa la gëm loolu leen United Party laa wax te su ma ne United wax ma la Moussa Diagne nga ñoom Moussa Diagne dañ foog ne ñoom ñu si mbir mi billahi ñoom di ay yóbbu wàll lañ bokkuñ si Moussa bëgg na Gambie si biir xolam gëm naa yàlla wóor na ma wóor yàlla ne Moussa bëgg na nguuri Adama Barrow bi dem te wóor na ma si wóor yàlla ne Moussa bëgg na Gambie waaye Moussa moom lu mu yaakaar ne mooy wécci Gambie du loolu United Party laa wax parti bi si boppam maa la wax li nga man li Essa Faal génn na wax na ko fi démba man waxuma ko UDP waxuñ ko su ma ko waxoon ngeen ne UDP moo tax su ko UDP waxee ngeen ne gis la ñi bëgguñ United ñu ne ñoom dañ génn ñetti at ñu ngi investi benn candidat te candidat boobu bii UDP la nekk UDP waxatuñ lii ñu noppi nañ si léegi UDP ñu bon ni ñu ñoo bëggul coalition am ñu ñoo dee yaax Essa Faal moom moo ne Magi Talib Bensouda moo enu délégation am dem ba si kiram ñu ne ko ne góor gi seetal ñun luñ dugal si politique bii nii fu mu nekk nii coach man li bari laa xam du ma si mun a wax tey ndaxte loolu su ma ko waxee ma jam faa ay nit waxoon naa leen ko fi man du ma toog ak coach tey ñu nekk xarit ma xam yéena ma dem ba li fi ne feexoo li fi war safaana coach ma ñëw génn di wax yéena wax déedéet loolu jikko gor du jikko nit ku baax waaye di Essa Faal moo ko génnee démba wasi ñu ne ko ñetti at ñu ngi invest pour def kii nii président duñ dellu gannaaw duñ ko bàyyee kenn affaire si ne bu demee ba tegoo noonu coach man maa la wax li United duñ bokk si bépp waxtaan boo xam ne du def Talib Bensouda président ñoom faalewuñ lan mooy process bi faalewuñ lañ mooy lan ñoom lu ngay faale rek mooy na Talib doon président bi kon donc jeena tak lépp process bu ñoo isi suñu nag pare nañ ko
waaye let me push back first there is nothing wrong with Talib su fekkee ne even though gis naa gars yi United ñoom ñu ngi ko I have no dog in this fight ñu ngi ko deny why there is nothing wrong as Talib as a Gambian to decide that you know what I want to be president I prepare myself to be the president but secondly there are also people who always with accuse the UDP ne nañ nangu yëpp waaye unless ñu lead coalition boobu du am so what's the difference
xam nga lu tax nit lépp loo wax da nga xalaat si loo ko tinka UDP yow nga ne yaa ngi prépare sa bopp ñetti at nga gis ni koo xam ne nag moom fanweeri at jël na dee ngir réew mi waaye nga ne déedéet loolu taxatu ñu wax ni koo xam ne dem na toog kaso ngir réew ngeen ne déedéet loolu doy ñu fu mu nekk ne kenn waxatul loolu ni ñoo xam ne jël nañ ñàkk jël xiif jëf mar ngir réew fanweeri at ngeen ne loolu xem ngeen ko waxatuñ si yooyu noonu yow nga génnee xaalis kondom te parti bu tasa yow nga am place boo am ak sa ay njoñ yooyu àndal yépp képp ku si am place tey yàlla barke UDP yàlla du wàcc faj soxla kenn àdduna yàlla si ay doomi aadama la moo jaar faj doomi aadama soxlaam moo tax ñu wolof njaay dee wax ne nit ay garabam waaye nit mun naa doon posinam ndaxte yàlla si sabab la dee doxalee soo kon yow parti boo xam ne ñun fanweeri at bépp su dee numbers la bépp mandarga bépp loo mun a wane as evidence yow place boo toog sa yàlla UDP soo yow sa boppa soo ne electability yàlla UDP nga electable ak ñoo àndal yëpp boo ne déggu la parti boo xam ne fanweeri at kenn musuñoo tuumal nañ luubal nañ bu tuut Gambia génn lañ ñoo déggu kon su dee tam nit la fanweeri at ba tey élection musuta am Gambia nu sàcc bari sàcckat yi sax dañ dee xam ne nag lii nag dafa am fu mu em second position musuñ ñu koo jox ñu passé ko soo kon ñun suñ waxee ne kaay leen ñun ñoo am the best chance tey pour génnee Gambie su luñ nekk ñun su lu wér lañ ko tënka si ay nomba firnde yoo xam ne lii nii du xadis téere la te téere yoo noo kenn mënu koo daaxa soo du benn man maa fi waxoon ne ma leen Taalib doomi réew la Taalib war naa mun a doon président Taalib war naa mun a yor réew Taalib bu eeboo mu uti réew waaye dañ ne suñ kaa la ñu waxtaan nga wax da nga ne ñu nekk benn pour am benn coalition man la loolu du mun a am fapp boo xam ne Taalib nekkut président bi possible doo ko mën a am biir United
waaye Seeku
no Musa yow
no Asamba bilay I have been listening very carefully
harawa jëli suma grapes yi continue
buguma yàqa wax ji there are a lot of things that Seeku said wax ju yàqu la and I don't think
daxasi benn
hold on al ci sa biir wax
waaw
nit say ne wax nga ne Ousainou is going to be a candidate then nga ne Taalib nga ne njorta nañ ko
waaw
I listen very carefully
wow
you said ne first of all going back to Essa Faal and his version of things
laaj ma foofu ma tëddal foofu soo bëggee njorta bi su boobaa nga continuer
baalal ma rek
non dama la soo bëggee njorta bi ma relal la ko su ko defee nga continuer
for you to say njorta nga okay go ahead
su ma ne njorta naa ko nga lu tax ma ne njorta naa ko bu Lamin Darboe ak Talib Bensouda signé MOU gaa dañ ne si fan yi ay fukki fan daal ñoom dinañ ñëw wax kan mooy liit mbir mi loolu la gaay waxaguñ kan mooy liit mbir mi soo tey gaay su gaay demee waxtaan ñu décide ne na Lamin Darboe la ñoo jox mu liit moo tax ma leen njorta nañ ne Talib mooy liit mbir mi because ñoom seen bopp lu gaay waxuñ ne NUP ak AP ak ñii nii Unite seen MOU bu gaay sign gaay waxuñ kan moo koo liit moo tax ma ne njorta naa ne Talib moo koo liit
nga man I still do believe
the
comprehensive coalition is our surest way in as much it's difficult and complex but ci sa biir wax yow you want to make Unite to be the problem and Talib Bensouda because of his ambition and then yaa ngi ko wéer ci dara lu dul Essa Faal and what he said that we all witness how that transpired nañ waxante dëgga su fekkee ne Unite they were invited to a coalition talks a lot of people are saying ne yéen a toggal loolu xam nga man bëgguma yàqa wax ji
no waa nangul waal rek yow
non nga li baax mooy ne xam nga yéen a wax yi soo ko waxee te man I am one of the people that believe ne and most people think that I'm crazy a Unite and UDP is the best situation and other people join to defeat Barrow man loolu laa gëm understand li ma mean and I've been around for a while now moo tax bugguma wax lu yàq the possibility of that but for you to say ne this is all about Talib Ahmed Bensouda and his ambition and that you are basing it on Essa Faal what he said I am disappointed because
soo paree ma ñëw soo paree Musa la ma ñëw yow waxal soo paree ma ñëw
am nga dama noppi there are a lot of things that you said génne nga ma ci sax ne man dama bëgg a Gambia waaye ñoom Talib and some of these other people bëgguñ Gambia it means
waxuma loolu
Ahmed Bensouda
yaa ngi dugal wax suma gémmiñ waxuma loolu
yow dañ ne yow xam nga loo xam
waaw
yow ma ci man because man xaw ma loolu yépp yow xam nga ne man dama bëgg Gambia
waaw te lu wér laa ko tënka
nga ko wax ba danga insinuate ne Unite proper
Musa man uyuma man kenn duma jooyal suma dëcc man lu ma wax dafa leer man suma buggee wax ne Musa Jeng yow nii duma nóbbu dama ñëw jaar si aali kalaj bi ne la Musa yow nii waxuma loolu de bul dugal wax suma gémmiñ nal wax bi leer continue
ñu ne waxkat waxam la moom déglukat muy déglu I listened to you say very carefully. You think where moine Unite is the problem. And up to this point, I think that Unite has acted honorably. Even when they were invited to a coalition talks that most people believe na yena kotoga. That is why some of the very people that organized those coalition talks, they ended up walking away from it. And the accusation is Unite no bribe, inducement. How? How did they do that? You did mention, Seku, United Democratic Party is out there meeting other parties and talking to them. That is something to be expected in politics. For Unite to go to SFL and say, let's negotiate. How in the hell is that seen as these people are willing to do anything? You guys are doing it. Everybody is doing it. That is how politics, that's how it works. But to say, Talib Ahmed Bensouda, 3 years Nunge Togali, ñoom the problem of coalition. Say who? We've been here going all the way back to 2001. This was when Talib Bensouda was in diapers. And we were confronted with this same problem. So don't tell us that somehow this is just something that happened, but remember, that's not true. Let me tell you this. In 2006, the same conference call, press conference by Mr. Darboe, everything that he said in 2006 was the same thing that he did in 2026. No absolute difference. Same words, same accusations, same thing. So, let's stay with the facts. Let's work to, Mr. Darboe used a word, rapprochement. Let's see how we can still bring the parties together. But to say, Unite and Talib Ahmed Bensouda, they are the problem, that is seriously not true. You know it, and I know it. Is it difficult? Yes. Coming together is very difficult. But should we, Mota Manala, the question that I asked before, President Barrow will do anything to win an election. He will. The question is, what are we willing to do? We can question everybody's motivation, including Talib, including ANM Darboe. So for 30 years, this guy has been there. So if there is anyone who's obsessed with the presidency, it's him. Some people are saying that, you turn around, you said the same thing because SFL said it, and you believe it. Came and rebut. You decided to take SFL's word seriously?
Parenga. Musa yo bu Talib gene UDP yaa ngi remember yo message boma envoyé yow personally so da nga disappointed in me man tay yaa ngi remember yo personally yo lo ma wax man
remember manako and we dealt with it.
Okay, all right, okay. So man la moy so da nga disappointed in man tay uyu ma Musa mema so da nga disappointed in man tay betuma because yo dafa am lo yene already kon ma la ko way motamale man gumuma ne yo li yang ko dem ngir ñaaka bëgg rew or ngir ñaaka gum rew ndere ma loolu duma ko musa wédi ci yow mais yow bëgg nga Gambia fonk nga Gambia waaye man wóor na ma ne Musa luma yëgoo ko luma xam xamoko ci mbir mi ba ma ñëw del tarik bi tuuri delu gannaaw nga ne la ma naa ko wéer ci facts Musa Dieng buñ doon supplementary registration APP sobe ya ñoo Unite ñoo fi am nanguto seen diggante ñoo fi def supplementary registration bi ñoom ñaar ñoo ko def together loolu am na da amut
am na ba déjà am na dalil bu tax
ok waaye loolu am na fi so kon ñaar ñi ànd nañ waaye Musa dama ñëw
bu ko langalee noonu
Musa ñaar ñi ànd nañ wala ànduñ non Musa gars yi ànd nañ Musa mais ma ñëw ñaar ñi ànd nañ
I really don't want this to be about
déedéet Musa doo fi Musa da nga wax ba noppi ma déglu la Musa déedéet waxtaan mu nekk waxante digga si la
waxante digga bilaay nañ waxante digga
ok man lu ma laa mooy Unite ñoo APP sooba yaa ànd nañ fii nii def supplementary registration lii am na fi ke mënu koo wéer ok so kon àndandoor bi neexoon na te nangutoo bi amoon na seen diggante
I don't know about that
kañ amoon nañ nangutoo seen diggante pour gaa dem def supplementary registration
together that project. Yes.
Esa moko wax te loolu noonu taale si boppam dem na toog kër Fatou wax ko waaye waa ji Moussa nag léegi nag bu ma kii loolu nag yow it dana Esa war na ko si gémmiñam ay Africa te taali war na ko kër Fatou ne ñoom ñaar amoon nañ nangu noo ko def supplementary registration
nga toog ci lan nga
ko
toog
def
ci lan
supplementary registration
they work together because of Unite amutoon at that time UMC la as a movement
pour supplementary registration
but they work together so what
waaw pour supplementary registration waaw pour supplementary registration
yes
amoon man maa laa wax ne na kon ñoom ñaar amoon nañ nangutoo àndandaw bi neexoon na gaay liggéey nañ ñoom di same Essa Faal moo ñëwaat toogaat ne ñu ne gaay mu oo ay tur dafa oo ay tur ne diw ak diw ak diw ñoo ñëw suma kër lii la gaay wax te nii la fa ko gaay tebee woon waaw baa ma ñëw baa ma dimbale la yaa ngi fi wax 2001 bu taalib di toon nii naa ne leen ñu ñoo fi nekkoon Moussa ma ne duma xëy ma ne uyuma ma ne duma ganaari démba Moussa déglu ma wàlla Moussa mais ma ñëw ma ne ma di nga sabar boo rekkoon démba géew bi tas boo ko rekkee tey géew bi tas 2006 the same reason lu taxoon géew bi tasoon lan la woon dañ ba ñoo na accept the majority of UDP the same thing moo happen 2026 bañ a accept majority United Democratic Party waaye loolu sax waxuma fu yooyu yëpp man fu may waxee mooy nañ dellu biir UDP comme que nga ne nañ wax fax dé Moussa déglu ma ñu wax fax Moussa meema ma ñu wax fax nga ma laaj fax nga ma wax fax xam nga ñu wax fax
non foog ñu déglu wante su ko defee at least ñu mën a am décorum
fax yi nga wax xaaral ma ñu wax fax yi ñu ne ku ñëpp tufli nga tooy xeet 2018 buñ doon select taali biir UDP ñoom Moussa Jammeh di ka bakaw génna ñu ne inducement dafa amoon ñu ne ana evidence bi ñu fadle taalib bañal ko ne loolu amoon na fa ñu defend ko because ñu ne wanu ñu ne benn evidence Moussa Jammeh mu ngi UK mu maa déglu ñu jógee foofu noonu fii lañ toogoon ne Yankuba Darboe bu moo run for 2026 Moussa di nga laa ketee de 2022 2023 bu Yankuba Darboe run for local government déglu ma Moussa ma ñëw da nga laa topic fax nga laajte te naa la jox fax
you are not giving me facts, you're giving me your opinion.
Xaaral ma ñëw déedéet 2023 xaaral ma ñëw Moussa déglu ma bu Yankuba Darboe doon run for local government dañ fi Yankuba Darboe gaayam yi dañ kooloon ne ma ne Talib Bensouda moo sponsor Ahmed Gite man ne la ne loolu amut ñu ne ma ne am na Moussa ma dem lacce ñu ma war a lacce gaay ne ma amut man Seeku Kamara ma toog di fen loolu noonu ñaari at Yankuba Darboe waxuta man Seeku Kamara Moussa fax laa la wax nii daf fax nga wax xam nga kañ laa yëg ne loolu noonu Talib moo in fact sponsor Ahmed Gite June 2025 te loolu tam si ndey mbila bi su boppam laa ko déggee waat so loolu noonu fax la amoon na fa gars yi Brikama ñu waxoon na ñoom lañ génnoon du leen a fay monthly salary gars yi di attaque anybody koo xam ne supportuloo Talib man du ma dee dégg maay dem li fu waxantu damaa ñëw ba si yow ma laajte la ne la Moussa lii am na wala amut su ma déggee ku ñëw si moom ñëw si ma ne ma ne Moussa moo fi def damaa ñëw ba si ñëw laajte la ñooñu dama toog a gars yi biir CRR ma ne la ñu ne yéen dañ leen dee fay pour ngeen a wax lii def lii digga la wala du digga ñu ne ma du digga affaire si ñu ñëw tegal ma fax yi su ma ron buti ma gis ko suma pa kenn waxuma ko waat ne ñooñu de yaa in fact compensated ci yu gaay doon def so man dama yaagaa defend Talib anytime loo xam ne wan leen si Talib loo xam ne dama yaakaar ne du digga man maa dee dem ba si gaay laajte leen njëkka lii lu gaay wax si yéen digga la am déet ñu ne ma du digga ma dem si biti at defend ko up to the last minute man gàcce laa toogee after because dama ñëw ñu woon tegal ma fax yi benn ma gisal ko suma boppa te ba léegi Moussa waxuma de man ba léegi maa ngi noppee yu ma xam maa ngi yoppee si lu ma toog ba léegi maa ngi noppi teg because wax yooyu noonu jotagut waaye man lu ma laa xamal mooy Essa Faal moo génn a wax ko mu ne gars yi dañ dem kiram ñu ne ko ne ñun ñetti at ñu ngi invest pour def kii président te duñ dellu gannaaw duñ ko bàyyee kenn so loolu su nekkutee dëgga damal rijante ko Essa Faal du man damaa repeat la lu Essa Faal wax that's all I repeated here.
All I'm telling you, Sekou, for me, what Essa Faal said, even if it is true, do I believe there is anything wrong with unite people going to Essa Faal? Clearly, because we are in a coalition talks, UDP is doing that, every party is doing that. The idea of inducement, there is absolutely no evidence. And when everything is said and done, the honest to God truth is this. Since Talib Ahmed Bensouda left the United Democratic Party, no other candidate or party has ever done and towards 2026. We all know that Talib Bensouda is a viable candidate. So people like you, the Jamher, and saying some of these things.
What about people like you, Musa? Yo, Musa, what about people like you? Your hair, your standing. Can stand because the political Gambia.
No, listen, man, look.
Kan man ba hair la sani. Man lu leer nañ la fi wa Musa. Anga Musa dede Musa da nga yaga wax, da nga yaga Musa degluma, da nga yaga wax ñu rus la, respect la, baye la ko.
Man yafi rus ak li
man kan dede Musa hangaluta man su fekkone ne Musa keneen moo ma ko wax su fekkone ne keneen moo ma ko wax ma gëm ko man suma boppa nga ko def.
Limala Moine, it's unfortunate. We had a good interview with ANM Darboe, and it reduced to me and you going back and forth. And I don't
because Ali Kalaji from you wahante diga Musa. Angalu problem bi. Di mata di fuku li wara bay. Musa dede man duma na fekha Musa. Wallahi man duma na fekha. Man duma wa dafa leer. Man duma mata suuf di fuuf ci kaw. Duma fa nit bobu.
It's unfortunate. It is
Musa, Manduma Mata di Foof. It's very, very unfortunate, Musa. Manduma Mata di Foof.
No, can I ask a question?
Wow.
You were talking about Aferi Talib at GT. I have no evidence of that. But here's the thing, though. It is also a fact. Tactically, most UDP people were happy with GT contesting those elections, because they saw it as a possibility to take votes away from CDCC, because the UDP vote was going to stay there. So if you have these two people going at each other, so Yangs had a greater chance of winning with that. And the reason why I don't think up to that point, because Yangs just came from the diaspora, he had not demonstrated any desire to be anybody's presidential candidate. He was here with us activists, Youngs, my comrade Youngs, went to run. So there was no threat, or to me, maybe looking from outside, I don't know what was going internally, your party. There was no rivalry between the two of them to warrant, you know what, let me just work to make sure that nobody else from the UDP is going to win that seat. So could it also be that whatever, if the allegations are true, that maybe it was done tactically to help because of GT running against City, help the UDP and help Yanks in winning? Is that a plausible thinking?
I'm not so lege ñu la coach da nga yaaka ci football. Coach, time bobu nonu sen jamono la wa yeen dafa am terminology bo daan use backing. Ya nga dem terminology bobu nonu coach.
What more terminology bi?
Backing.
Wow.
Dañoo backing. Ya nga dem terminology bobu.
Wow.
Coach, backing su am no ndé def. Do ndé waxtaan am nanguto.
Yep, but did that happen, or do you know whether that happened?
No, dama ñëw fofu ne fofu njëkk reer. Coach, jamono yooyu noonu ñeen son daan backing. Do leen daan am waxtaan nanguto am njëkk.
Well, mun na happen.
Okay. Coach, fu may waxee mooy as a team su fekkee ne dañoo backing dañu war a nandalante ñu ñëpp understand lan mooy secret bi surtout ma main candidate bi di Yankuba Darboe fooguloo ne war na koo yëg.
So naka la ko Yankuba find out?
voilà
because man xam naa ne no hold on Sekou xam naa leen ne the UDP folks were openly ak jiite wax ju ñaaw ju wax UDP
xaaral ma ñëw coach bañuma loolu yëpp ma ne yow soo nekkoon position boobu noonu wala nga nekk place yi mel ni Sekou Camara ñu toog ñu nekk di same team because nga lu ta affaire si naxari ma coach January bés buñ nominé Yankuba def ko suñ candidate bi ñu select ko def ko candidate UDP January 2023 dama enu suma téléphone bi call Yankuba Darboe ma ne ko Yanks fu mu nekk nii liggéey door na ma ne ko nag am naa information Adama Barrow dina teg candidate boo xam ne du Ahmed Gite ma ne ko ku moo teg nag oraguma waaye kooku noonu borom xaalis bu mag moo ko baak dañ ci war a waxtaan see ni ñoo def raise funds pour ñu mun a cilin gaay ko Yankuba lu ma tontu keroog moo tam loolu man naxari Yankuba ne ma Seeku weda am nañ xaalis woo amuñ xaalis woo his exact words were baalal le ma si laaka bi we will fight like hell su ko defee suñ ñaakee West Coast sax duñ ñaaka KMC because suñ bàyyee taalib ak Adama Barrow rek Adama Barrow mun na ko sonal daaneel ko waaye ñun suñ xeexee with everything we can in West Coast ñu stress their resources stretch their campaign Adama Barrow du mun a focus on taalib foog mu xeex West Coast tam even if we lose West Coast we will maintain taalib in KMC lii mooy woot si Yankuba Darboe to me
okay
ma ne ko baax na yaa maa dégg ko ma ne ko baax na ñu jógee foofu noonu after news bi buñ électé Yankuba Darboe ba noppi gars yi West Coast yi jox ma information ñu ne ma ne KMC dañ doon undermine Yanks si campagne bi ma ne leen si naka ñu ne ma ñoo sponsor Gite ma ne leen possible su ko suñ sponsor Gite they will discuss it with all of us and we will know because we are on the same team ñu ne ma ne ko so ñu ne ma ne sew no yaa ngi farleel sa boy bi mais ne ko farleel Talib is never like that he wouldn't do that without communicating with the team coach ma dem laajte gaa ñu ne amut defuñ ko I leave it alone ma delluwaat defeen loolu noonu si ñoom Yanks maa laa wajoo ñaari at coach man maa Yanks day yaaga man organise naa conference UK time boobu noonu time struggle bi ñu ne ma ne Yanks du wax si conference bi because of Yanks is wanted by the Gambia government ma ne la kon suma conference bi cancel naa ko everything lu ma si invest nu mu bari because ma ne leen so maa Yanks du tee yaaga na waaye I was willing to defend Talib to the dime ma ne loolu amut du digga Talib di def loolu noonu Yanks so Yanks nu mu ko gisee ak tiimam bi kii dafa bëggoon a am on candidat am boo xam ne daf koo taxawal West Coast ku dul Yanks su ko defee kooku su winee moom mu ngi KMC no matter what the results become in 2026 he will have the backing of West Coast moom mu ngi KMC and will give him a pathway to the leadership whatever that is true or not ma loolu suma yoon nekku si man fu may waxee coach mooy su ma ñëwee si yow coach ma laajte la Musa Jeng na ma ne coach lii la def ma ñëw si yéen coach ma laajte la sa team bi na lii la fa demee ngeen ne ma amut ma gëm ko ma dem attaquaat Musa Jeng xeexa moom xulooya moom ba affaire si passé nga ñëw confess ma ne won ma ne dëgg la lii amoon na waaye da ngeen ko def for tactical reason am I not good enough to know ne yéen seen tactical reason bi war ngeen ma ko yëgal balaa maa dem di xeexa Musa Jeng fii la Ali Kalaj bi nekk coach foofu laay waxee waxuma ne tactique bi baax na baaxul dama la ne
xam nga fan la Ali Kalaj nekk
moo cause problème
Sekou let me respond xam nga fi Ali Kalaj nekk
waaw
you think ne maligning the character of Talib Ahmed Bensouda
again yaa ngi character assassinate Musa Jeng
ni nga ko def di
déedéet naka laa ko character assassinate waaw ma naka laa ko character assassinate
Sekou dama la déglu
Come on, guys. Man, Musa Jeng lu ma wax man deebu Talib génne UDP.
That's not the issue. That's not the issue here.
Musa, coach, issue la. How he feels about me already.
Sekou, hold on. Let's have decorum. Luma moy. Give him chance to finish and then you rebut. Because when he was doing that, I told him to give you chance to finish. That's what I'm saying.
Look, that's what I said at the beginning. I don't want to do that. But the more you talk, you are dragging me there. My Lord. Bro, when you speak, I disagree totally with everything that you said. But I have the tolerance to listen to it. Yo, Yange insinuate ngane. Talib Bensouda is not somebody to be trusted. And you are listening things. What he did. So, Yange character assassinate the guy. That's what you did.
Nakala character assassinate. Rama buga mu leer lek.
Pasama ki fum jaar alawma pour man tam ma wax.
No, déedéet da nga leeral. Da nga wax mu leer.
So wax nga ko mu leer. Bàyyi ko mu leeral fu mu nekk rek, and then you'll have your chance to respond.
They could believe me. He's using what Esafal said about this man, meaning they would do anything to win the presidency. They will use inducements. He did say that. And he talked about this was a 3-year plot. He bring about this Jiteleng Finance Act, Fila Jelsen, Khalis definitely cut. All of that. To me, that's character assassination. That's what it is. You are bringing question of the man's character. Now, let me tell you this. For 3 years, the Gambia government, with everything that they have, they character assassinate Talib Ahmed Bensouda. They form a coalition to go after this man. They scrutinize everything that he has done. Every Gambian believe me, this guy is corrupt. Dara xewut. Character assassinating the individual. That's what the government has done. When I listen to you, you are on that same trade. Making kililama wah, inducement this, inducement that. And this guy, Sekou, that is not based on anything. I told you, for political parties to meet other people, to convince them to join. How in God's name that is inducement? It cannot be inducement. You guys do it. Every party does that. How somehow Talib Ahmed Bensouda is not to be trusted because of that, because Esafal said it. And we all know the context that Esafal said this. All of us were in this coalition together. Unite was invited like every other party. They stood their ground. They agreed to the rules of engagement up to the end. The United Democratic Party, Minga defend. They bolted out of that coalition talks because they didn't have it their way. And I respect that. But for you to sit here and question the character of Talib Ahmed Bensouda and Unite, I'm not going to fall for that. In coming back to Nganeman Limalawa, I'm going to say it because Yanko Langal. What I said was this. Man ma yo denjan wa. Okay? You know that man, I've always sympathized with Talib Ahmed Bensouda. And my assumption, we were on the same team. That was my assumption. I remember calling you even from Gambia. So when it finally became, you are not part of the team, then I sent you a text. And then I said, Sehu, man, I thought you are part of the progressive team and not the MAGA wing. That's what I said. When you took offense to that, I apologize. Because even Kini Abubakar Siddiqui, I call him he belongs to the MAGA wing. But when you took offense to that, man, I apologize. Unasanga, I will apologize again. I did not disrespect you. I just thought you were part of the progressive wing. Because man, as far as I'm concerned, I thought within the UDP, there was a progressive wing and there were people that were more conservative. And it happens in every political, association. So again, I believe that Talib Ahmed Bensouda is clean as a whistle and he has every right to be ambitious as a Gambian to run for president in 2026. And I think that he has a hell of a shot of winning it. And no character assassination, no going after him because the government has done it and it didn't work. So Sekou Kamara definitely, by coming up with these stories, is not going to be able to do that, unfortunately.
Okay. So anyways, guys, I need to go get work done today. Changing my hustle mode, so I'm going to sign off here until next time.
You said it here for everybody to hear. I'm not talking about they are affiliated. I'm not talking about they support you as a party. You character assassinate Talib Ahmed Bensouda and the Unite movement. That's what you have done.
Okay.
You should be bigger than
Manually. Anga man wahi inducement yako. Man dama ne Esafal mune. Den sampa parti bi ñetti at. foofu laa am si waxi Essa Faal pour Essa Faal laa wax man waxuma ne waxi Essa Faal inducement lii record la soo paree mu nga koo riwaay nga déglu ko waxuma dara si lu Essa wax si inducement yaa xam loo xam si inducement ba nga mer di waxee nii man loolu waxuma
yow yaa mer
dama dégg man foofu waxuma ko man fu may waxee mooy dafa ne
ownership you also have to allow him moment mu finish
dama ne fii ba ñetti at dafa ne ñetti at gaa yaa ngi liggéey seen parti gaa ñu ngi invest seen candidate bi te duñ dellu gannaaw pour kenn man foofu laa am si waxi Essa Faal so pour toog fii ne man maa ne Seeku Kamara moo ne Taalib mu ngi ko krata assassinate te loo xam ne uyuma loolu mu laa wan ne yaa ma bugg a te lii Moussa dafa mel nii su ma ko keneen waxoon damay dégg waaye dafa mel nii yaa ngi ko bugg a jikkoo te jikko bi rafetut yaa maa dégg because Moussa yow pour nga xool ma yow pour nga xool ma man waaye déglu ma Moussa pour nga xool ma man nga xeeb boo xam ne nekkul na sa gum yàlla gën a dëgg suma gum yàlla nekkul na dama gën a am juddu bu baax nekkul na sa xeet a gën suma xeet nekkul na sa askan a gën suma askan nga war maa xool ne ma ne yow dama foogoon ne you are progressive minded mel nii man su ma nekkal progressive minded loolu wari xeebaate la te Moussa sa maas xeebaate boo leen xeeb UDP xeeb boo leen xeeb askan loolu moo feeñ foofu noonu foofu laay waxee te su nekkutoon loolu
I think that's a stretch
coach
hold on balal
déedéet coach lii xeebaate la wane xeebaate la
Seeku I think listen I think ñu ngi fi wax joo xam ne nii wax ju is not going to gain us anything yaa ngi understand lu ma ni first off there was a reason why there was an interview somebody who spent an hour or more talking about his vision for the country and fu mu nekk nii the only thing that will be remembered about that whole conversation will be Moussa Jenga Seeku de ñu ngi la ne back and forth naka Seeku naka Talib ku jubla na jubur and all that stuff so to me laa ne man de suma xam xalaat bu gàtta it negates the time bi nga xam ne nii moom la naka la tudda Mr. Darboe spent here talking about his vision for the country and some of the things that he answered now soo bëggee am yow yaa Moussa tête à tête boo xam ne yéen ñaar la rek ngeen deal with Moussa versus Seeku you guys can do that but to me as the yéen ñëpp maa leen gën a nekk political strategist as the political strategist that I am if my candidate goes to any platform and put out an idea of what he has for a country let it you never take a board later because I think this whole thing have overshadowed most people will not even remember what was discussed here by Mr. Darboe.
Why coach man dama fi waxu dara lu ñaaw Moussa Dieng moom moo jël waxtaan bi yóbbu ko foofu noonu te lu ma laa mooy du ma nangu Moussa def ma loolu in private ma ñëw in a public platform mu bëgg maa dëkkaloo fu ma dëkkut loolu du ma ko alaawal Moussa Dieng because Moussa dama ko jox cër respect ko su ma bëggutee delloo the same thing du ma ko alaaw mu teg ma in a public platform bëgg maa ndawloo bëgg maa tuutilloo bëgg maa dëkkaloo fu ma dëkkut naan man dama karata assassiné Taalib du gën a fii génn na fële loolu amul dama ne lii la kii nii wax Essa Faal wax falaa am te man waxuma waxi inducement coach dama la ne Essa Faal mu ne ñetti at gaa ngi sampa parti te koo xam ne mu ne loolu
this is why I wanted to take up that conversation by myself and just address it si boppam but what I'm saying mooy at the end of the day listen you guys can be here be adna tukki litigate deal di ko relitigate is not going to go anywhere this is what I believe about this whole coalition things and that's where we have an issue mooy it's okay sometimes when you come out of it and then try to find a reason why you get out of it si boppam in Essa man de su fekkee ne I was not good if I was suspected anything from the get-go I would not be even part of the conversation I'm not going to wait ba ca cappaandaw ga and génna and this naka la tudda I have had this conversation about even ñoom Taalib and I've been told that I'm unfair no, you don't subject yourself to a process and walk out of the process because you feel that it's not going your way. And that has been, to me, the biggest problem that we've had in our coalition building better. If Essa believed what he believed from the very beginning I would have exposed it. I would not have been part of the process, but I would not wait. But they vote ba. Maduga for whole ninja and then say, you know what, I'm withdrawing from it. This whole coalition thing, coalition babu task, meeting babu no, came to no surprise to me. In fact, I expected it much longer because Ninga have no unite us. They are not unite themselves. But again, it is what it is. You know. Let
me say this.
No, this is me. No, this is me. I'm not saying no. No. I did not say that. All I'm telling you, man, my opinion of this coalition. We wanted to start with that. Man, let's wait until Mr. Darboe's interview to delve into it. You know, man, my opinion about it. That's how I see it. To me, I would not have been part of the process from the get-go.
The interview alone would have sufficed for me. When I started out by telling you, when I was looking for solutions, how we can even come together. Because understand, there are things that you have said that I thought it was unfair with Unite. And
I just repeated what Esa said. I just referenced what Esa said. In fact, not even repeated. I referenced what Esa said.
Someone you never witnessed what happened. Esa is not the Bible. Right. Esa was part of the coalition talks. Esa decided to put.
But then, how can you articulate? How can you pretty much tell what going on? Normally, what you say, Kukamara, Lolo Majahalman.
Daniel. Yo, them the fair be insinuate sane. Looks like me with doing yes, with Esa yes, but then with Unite. You're like, no, it's not going to work. And then you enumerate it. Man, and there is something that you said.
Musa, aduna fini man lena la xam si aduna Musa aduna waxi kesse lañ fi yaxé nit waxi kesse lañ fi défaré nit. Duma tok ci plateau nak ma yow nga bëgg ma yàq sa kanami askan bi ma noppi di la déglu loolu duma ko jiral kenn kañ ci loolu nga jublu Musa ci loolu nga jublu te duma la ko nangul
no listen
kañ da nga ne Seku Camara yaa ngi krata assassiné Talib te nguur gi def nañ ko mënuñ ko yow Seku Camara doo ko mun man dama soxlu ta yaaxa doomi jàmbur daf ma ko jëralul.
Okay, Teo. All right, you win. Like, I don't think you're interested in having a civil conversation.
No, Musa, you are not interested in having a conversation. Yeah, because coach like nama. Coach no nama tontu. Yo nga ñoo tontu ma waaye da nga ñoo pour attaque ma te on na ma ne xëj na dama danka fanaanal. Moo tax ma laa xaar ma ni.
Or na yàlla duma def loolu. Duma def loolu.
Anyway daal loolu la wane. Loolu la fi wane.
Look, Seku, it was definitely nice having you on the platform. And this is not
I know, probably won't be back again, which is also fine. Either way, Musa, I'm fine.
No, Seku, hold on now. This is ñun fini. There is nobody that we stop from coming to the platform.
No, Seku.
Your first time.
Musa la wal bu meka ni de.
No. Ninko wahela. Man ma Musa, we don't see eye to eye. We don't censor anybody here.
Seku,
we don't.
I think that is unfair.
You know.
That is
no. You are also unfair to me, Musa. To bring me on your platform and to accuse me of assassinating Talib. To your first day from day one with Talib Guinness party, maybe you have your own ulterior interests and motives. Musa. Yo lu grand nga ma wa dama dekkal fuma dekkul to or na man mota man la xejna dama yaga danka fanana comme no ko waxe da nga yaakaar ne man dama wara bay suma parti bay luma gum dem top Talib ci napsom comme que defuma lolu am not progress
mota man leral the text that I sent you dama ko leral nañ ne man I didn't say anything and even I apologize to you because you took offense to that. Man, I'm not that kind of individual. I'm not mean-spirited. There are things that you've just said. That's what most of the comments they're calling me names. Tribalist. You are insinuating it.
I did not call you tribalist. Again,
no, listen.
When you say tribalist, dafa xeeblu ci suma askan te askan waxuma la xeet de askan laa la wax askan du xeet olof la laakal de Musa duma olof nag waaye yàlla sutural na ma tuuti si olof askan laa la wax musuma laa waxi xeet.
All right, Sekou. Thanks for coming. And again, I apologize for the back and forth. And, it is what it is. The closer we get to the elections, emotions are going to get high. And myself included, we're going to say things that we may even regret. But when everything is said and done, we all believe in one thing, that change has to happen come December 5th, 2026. It can only happen when we are willing to all come together. Yes, talk honestly with each other, but also find a way, a common ground. That's the only way that change is possible. We will be back again next Sunday.
All right, man, Sekou, thank you very much. And we hope to have you again at some point. And thanks for facilitating that interview. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Coach.